All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. It's time for the Fallen Esports Fallen Pride Tournament conclusion. If you joined us yesterday, thank you so much for being a part of the fun. And if you didn't get a chance to tune in, welcome. We are going to be covering 3 matches here today, starting in the winners' finals. Then we'll move down into that lower finals. And of course, finish everything off in the grand finals here. Reminder that we're here in support of charity, so happy Pride Month, everybody. We are here supporting the Brave Space Alliance, which is a Black, trans-led, LGBTQ plus community organization based in Chicago. So this is an organization that looks to provide resources to the community, education, and empowerment within that Chicago area. So if you are interested in making a donation to support the Brave Space Alliance, you can check out the pinned message in the Twitch chat to find the Brave Space Alliance's website. So make sure you check that out and support a really fantastic charity. We are going to have a pretty fun match on stream to start out. WKU Gray versus Team Reformed. We did get to see WKU Gray yesterday. So let's take a look at their roster. A little reminder for the folks watching of who we're going to get to see on the stream to start. We have Keller and Crybaby, Bakura, Slow Lettuce, and Stratocaster. So excited to get to see this team once again. And of course, this is a team that has made a fantastic run so far. 2-0 in winners round 1, taking us to a map 3 in the winners round 2 against Gangan Galaxy. So we'll see if we're going to get to have another map 3 here. It is, of course, a best of 3, so it's going to be that first to 2 to pick up the win and head on to the grand finals. On the other side of things, a team that is new to this stream, but you're definitely going to be familiar with some of these names. Team Reformed. We have Temp and Seaful, Dion, Social, Muhiki. So excited to get to see these players in action. And yes, that is Seaful on the DPS role here. So I get to see a little bit of maybe some role swapping happening in the tournament. Now, of course, this is a charity event, but there is a little bit of cash money on the line as well for these players. So it is a $500 prize pool split between those top 3 teams. So it is $300 to first place, $150 to second, and then $50 to third place. So a little bit of incentive to put on a fantastic show for everybody here. And speaking of the shows, we can take a look at the bracket to see how we got here, and of course those matches that are yet to come. Now, I will mention, I'm gonna do a little refresh on my bracket here. There was one match that wasn't reported. Looks like it has been done now, though. So here is our double elimination bracket. So the Kitchen versus Fallen Tail in that lower round 3 is going to be happening around the same time. So that's going to be happening kind of simultaneously with this winners round 3. I think it is starting just a little bit later, but hopefully it will conclude within a reasonable amount of time that we'll know which one of those teams is moving up to the lower round 4 and which will be the next team on our broadcast here. We also have, of course, Face It rules here, so map and hero bans on the table here. And it is going to be WKU that gets to select the first map that we head to. Again, best of 3, so there is that potential to maybe only get to see 2 maps here, but we will have to see how the first one goes. It is going to be Oasis to start things off. The losing team from this first map will get to select the mode as well as the map. We are using that Face It Season 9 map pool. So some interesting maps that have found their way in that maybe we haven't seen for a little while. The Nambani is definitely the first one that comes to mind for me. We did get to see that on broadcast yesterday. So potentially we'll get to see that again. Looks like we do have our first ban in as well, and since WKU is the team that got to select the map, actually, I think if I'm remembering correctly, the map was actually, or the map was actually selected by Team Reformed, and I think that they actually seeded the first hero ban, so that is an option that you could do, and WKU has opted to ban the Roadhog here, so You know, were we gonna get to see the Roadhog? It's definitely not impossible, but I do have to suspect that this could be more of a protect ban on that tank line. Or maybe they're just really terrified of getting hooked into the well. That's pretty valid too. So this, of course, gonna mean that Team Reformed are going to be going for either a support ban or going for a DPS ban here, and they have already made that decision. It is going to be Mizuki banned out. So definitely, you know, getting to see a little bit more of one of those newest supports. I think that we didn't really get to see a whole lot of Mizuki when he first came out, but people are really kind of finding out where he fits into these compositions, and I think that chain, fantastic, a bit of CC there, so definitely can kind of slow down a Wrecking Ball potentially, or D.Va as well. Of course, that's gonna go straight through to Defense Matrix. So I think that between the Roadhog being banned out and the Mizuki being banned out, maybe we could get some Wrecking Ball or D.Va, but I think it would be pretty fun to see this. Um, we are just having a little bit of a lobby issue, so we're gonna let that get sorted out. But once again, I'm gonna throw it back over to the bracket, because if you missed the matches that were on stream yesterday, wow, you know, kudos to the staff here for selecting some really fantastic matches. So we got to see Gan Galaxy versus Rosaday in that winners round 1, map 3. Winners round 2, we followed Gan Galaxy versus WK Gray on our screen right now. Another map 3, and then we did finish off in that lower round 2 with Fallen Tail versus Gan Galaxy, a 2-0 there, but I do think that it was still quite entertaining. We didn't get to see that map number 3, but definitely still some fantastic Overwatch to be seen here, and I'll give a shout out. I mean, we followed Gan Galaxy all day yesterday, and the amount of tanks that we got to see from Navilia, a lot of fun. I think that the compositions that are coming out in this tournament are, you know, semi-serious. Of course, there is some money to be won from it, but I think it's also just really fun to see the creativity that is really kind of coming through for these teams, because like I said, you know, some of these players going for a bit of an off roll, just getting kind of prepared, you know, until season 9 of Face It, because that is starting on Monday. So there's a lot of anticipation, I think, for these players to kind of get warmed up, get ready for that season. Um, yeah. So we'll get to see, yeah, 3 of the matches here today. This match, the winners final, and the lower final are both going to be a best of 3. So first of 2 maps. That grand finals match at the end, that's where things are going to change a little bit. They're going to move over to that best of 5. So a little bit of an opportunity to maybe see some more of the map modes. I will say, despite being like our first of 2 series, and we did get a couple of map 3s, but was very impressed with, I think, the variety of maps that we got to see. Of course, following that Face It map pool, there are 3 control maps that you can possibly start on: Antarctic Peninsula, Ilios, and Oasis. And I think that we got to see all of the control maps. Funny enough, maybe not Ilios, though. I was a little surprised. I am quite biased towards Ilios. That is like my second after Lijiang Tower of favorite control maps, but the rework on Antarctic Peninsula has kept things fairly interesting, fairly fresh. And then Oasis, I think, has just been kind of a favorite for these teams. It's one of the maps that has been moved over from that season 9 map pool, or season 8 map pool, I believe. So some familiarity and things here. Checking out some of the other maps. I mentioned earlier that there's some maps that are coming in that we haven't necessarily seen a whole lot, Nimbani being one of them, Hollywood on Hybrid as well. Interestingly, our 2 push maps, I mean, Runesapi had to stay, I feel like, because teams are Runesapi assessed, myself included. And then New Queen Street making an appearance, which I feel like has been one of the lesser played push maps. People don't tend to gravitate towards that one if any of the other push maps are on the table. And then the escort maps, throwing Dorado into the mix. So I think that this season 9 map pool has a really nice balance of kind of the dive and then kind of like brawl opportunity map says. Looks like we have sorted out our lobby issue, and WKU is going to be banning Sojourn instead of the Roadhog. So status protect ban, I guess. We are just about ready to head into Oasis. This is going to be our map number 1. Very excited. And I think that we should head in, take a look at what these teams are running when there is no Sojourn, no Mizuki. All right. University to start things off here. Now, of course, the doors are still closed. I don't expect we're gonna get a Mercy Lucio, but I suppose anything is possible. All right. Looking a little more standard here. That Curie Lucio backline for both of these teams. We are going to have Dion over on that Sigma. The Sigma Mei here, I think, definitely kind of leaning into a meta composition. A lot of what has been seen so far in the meta has been that kind of shut down the tank. That Mizuki is definitely a big part of it, so not having that chain to work with is a big opportunity for your tank to at least try and get out alive. Point is going to unlock shortly here. Maybe wall put up by Temp, and Keller is going to hit that headshot onto Seafels. Cassidy down. There's a lot of that consistent damage now gone, and all the cooldowns falling away from Dion there, and that will be the point flip going over to WKU to start building some percentage here, and well, that is a pretty quick swap off of the Sigma. Okay, it's Malga time. Seafel over onto the Reaper as well, and then Temp over on to that Cassidy. So dropping the Mei entirely here, and it's going to be more of an all-in composition. Seafel's definitely going to be able to do a lot of damage to Bakura once you get through that armor. The stomp in. Bakura tries to use that shield to block off the heals from Mukiki, but it's just a lot of space being taken by Team Reformed. Keller trying to stall out this point a little bit. Doesn't quite manage to escape that Peacekeeper of Temp. Here's the Deadeye from Crybaby zoning. WKU hitting back with 2 of these ultimates to try and make up for the fact they don't have Keller in this fight. There's the Kitsune Rush from Muhiki though, and it is going to be the Dire Trainers from Seafel taking down Crybaby. All the while, WKU has been on that point, and they will be rewarded with 50% on the board here. But to be a little bit tricky to push into this point with Dion on this Malga and Seafel on the Reaper. Not to mention that Deadeye ready to go here for Temp. Crybaby falling early. This is great for Team Reformed. They're walking up. They are taking space. Okay, Keller's looking to try and punish that. Seafel does get sent back to the spawn. The Blizzard freezes onto Social, but manages to get the beat out in time. This is going to be the chance that WKU need. They find the boop onto Temp as well, so you're going to see Team Reformed, backing up here. They want to play for the stall, especially with Social back into the mix here. They have ults to work with. They're going to commit in the blender. There is the cage fight. There is the Blossom. 2 down, and Seafel's going to find a 4K in this fight. Slow Lettuce will not be shown any mercy. It's the team kill here for Team Reformed. And a great 1-2 combo coming out from them, as they're going to pick up the lead here on University. Dion lurking. Forces the Suzu out early from Slow Lettuce, and it's going to be an aggressive Nemesis form in with that beat. Met with the Deadeye though, and the beat is not going to save Slow Lettuce from that Peacekeeper. Back towards the point here. Team Reformed have built up to this Kitsune Rush, and they want to keep the aggression up here. It is going to be the wall out from Keller, but everybody's just going to walk around it. There's the Nemesis form with the Annihilation. Bakura is falling so low though. Slow Lettuce trying to keep this tank up. Will manage to do it, but doesn't extend that Annihilation. Nice wall from Keller is going to lock Seafel into that Kitsune Rush. The Deadeye coming out as well, not quite finding anything. Did a bit of damage to Dion there, but that is now 2 down here for WKU. They managed to get the point flip though, just in time. Keller has to commit the Blizzard in actually get stunned out of it. That is so unfortunate for WKU. It was the only ult they had to work with, and with the quick flip over, Team Reformed will pick up the first point here on Oasis. All right. Good start here. I mean, fantastic swaps coming through here for Team Reformed. Definitely felt like, yeah, the Sigma comp was just not gonna work for them against this Ramattra. No deaths on Muhiki. Love to see that from your flex support. Able to put out so much healing and matching the damage as well. We'll have to see if WKU are gonna make any swaps as we head over to City Center here. Definitely a bit more of an opportunity potentially to go for a dive. Team Reformed seems to agree. Ooh, okay. They're gonna keep Seafill on the Symmetra as well. And Dion over on that D.Va. It's gonna be a setup on the high ground here for Team Reform. So WKU are forced to take the jump pad. Ooh, okay. Gonna find quite a bit of damage onto Social. They are not able to finish off that Lucio, but they have gained control of this high ground. The Sim versus the Mei will be an interesting matchup here. The Mei will, it's definitely going to be a bit harder to get the same value on City Center compared to University. Point has opened now, so a bit of a brawl on the point. Social's going to be the first blood of that, and Temp going to immediately follow. Keller is taken down here, so that kind of mini tank gone here for WKU, but they still have the numbers advantage, and Crybaby has a Deadeye! Has built this up so quickly here. Trying to help WKU gain control of this point. Stratocaster down though, and Dion makes it back to stall very momentarily though as the D-Mech comes through. The flip has not come through though. WKU need to clean up these kills, and unfortunately, Crybaby's not going to be there to try and make that happen. Dion is still out of the mech right now, so Team Reformed essentially don't have a tank, but they do have this Kitsune Rush to work with. Great pathing along the side of the map, and a great headshot from Temp as well. And Team Reformed, they just plant themselves on this point. WKU not able to clean up the kills even when they were ahead in the fight. So that will be first percentage going over to Team Reformed. They only committed the Kitsune Rush into that, and that helped build up all these other ults. Slow Lettuce gonna have that advantage, but Deadeye coming out, and oh, it's gonna be a 2K here. Don't see that too often anymore. Great stuff from Temp. Seafill committing the Photon Barrier in there as well. A little bit of safety here for that Deadeye. All right, the bomb ready to go for Dion, and that beat from Social. Stratocaster will be able to match that. Keller, oh, off of the Mei onto the Tracer. Back into the spawn. Great headshot from Temp. It's a full regroup here for WKU. They have a lot to work with here. Team Reformed are just doing such a fantastic job of finding an opening pick before WKU can even clear any space, and it's because they're holding these angles so well. Alright, Nemesis form out. Bakura walking forward, has the Kitsune Rush to continue that march towards the point. What a beat from Social, just keeping people alive. But that Annihilation plus Deadeye combo from WKU is going to shut down a lot of this stay on the point. Suspect Dion is going to want to hold on to that D.Va bomb. Just looking for a bit of a stall here, trying to build up some more percentage. No, he's going to actually commit that bomb. Oh, knocks it off the high ground, but WKU is wiser to that. Nobody gonna fall to that one. Call forced out here from Keller. Falling quite low. Has this pulse bomb, but really need to try and avoid that defense matrix of Dion. Kitsune Rush across the point here. Team Reformed controlling a lot of space and forcing out so many cooldowns here. They're gonna actually hit the flip. Seafill has come back on the Tracer off of that Symmetra. And the onus is really on WKU to find their way into this point, but Temp on the Cassidy is just doing so much work. Pulse Bomb comes out, but it's gonna be the Deadeye from Temp to keep himself alive. Brilliant stuff here from the side of Team Reform. Stratocaster over to the Jetpack Cat. Team Reformed is aware, though. It's actually gonna be Social just being the fox, or being the hound for Temp to chase out that cat. Overtime was triggered. Keller's on the Tracer. The ball sent back to the spawn here. Crybaby has this Deadeye, but WKU are just pressed to try and keep a foot on the point right now. The Deadeye finds nothing. The Pulse Bomb, it goes to the floor. Overtime very low, and yeah, that will be it. It will be Oasis going over to Team Reformed as they start this series up 1-0. And of course, this being a best of 3, now at a match point. Yeah, 4K from a Reaper. I feel like that probably deserves to play the game. Muiki only ended up with 1 death. That Kiriko is staying alive for so long here. A lot of damage coming out from Crybaby, and I think that we saw a fantastic showing from them in the series that we got to see yesterday. And I think that definitely the potential here to make a comeback if you are WKU. Especially because you are going to be in control of the map pick and that hero ban as well. So they'll get to pick the mode and that first hero ban. So we'll let them figure that out. In the meantime, welcome everybody. Hope you enjoyed map number 1 here. It's our conclusion for the Fallen Esports Pride Tournament. And we are here celebrating Pride and of course supporting a charity as well. So it is the Brave Space Alliance. It is a Black trans-led LGBTQ plus community organization based in Chicago area. So if you're interested in making a donation to support the Brave Space Alliance, you can check out the pinned message in the Twitch chat to find the donation link to the Brave Space Alliance. So thank you all so much for being here. We're having a lot of fun here in this charity tournament. And of course, a little bit of cash money here for the players as well if you are on one of the top 3 winning teams. $300 to team number 1. Team 2 will get $150, and then it'll be $50 to team 3 here. So we have a decent amount of these players that are going to be playing in Faceit League as well. And of course, gotta give a big shout out to Fallen Esports Faceit teams as well. Make sure that you are following along with all of their social updates because there are, I think that Fallen Esports has a Faceit team in almost every division. I know that they have Expert, Advanced, and Expert and Advanced for sure. So check out Fallen Esports OW on Twitter to stay up to date on that. Join the Discord if you haven't as well. There's lots of really fun events and stuff happening in here, including some pugs that have been, I think, gaining steam quite a bit, especially among some of those higher ranked players if you're looking for some competitive pugs. Yeah, and also big shout out to our friends at XYBA. So all of the awesome observing that you guys are getting to see, and the in-game kind of overlays and the scores and the bracket, all put together by XYBA. So that means that I get to just do some casting. I don't have to worry about pushing the buttons on the keyboard and missing that amazing 4K Reaper play. So big shout out to them. Check them out if you are looking for some production assistance or tournament hosting as well. Looks like we do know where we're going for map number 2. Again, any mode except for control was open here for the WKU team to pick, and they are opting to take us over to Escort, and they are looking at a map that they actually, I believe that they played last time, and they had very good success on it. We're going over to Circuit Royale. Got to see this yesterday from WKU, and Crybaby absolutely popped off on the Widowmaker, and it was fun because we got to see some double sniper composition, which I feel like is kind of making a resurgence potentially here on Circuit. But there will, of course, be some hero bans, so a chance that we don't get to see that double sniper composition. They will be in control of the first ban. They won't be able to ban out a hero that they have banned already, but everything else is going to be on the board for them, and it's of course going to set the precedent for the hero that Team Reformed can ban as well. So you could go for a protect ban here if you're WKU. Taking a look at the players in the lobby, doesn't seem like we have any substitutions to be made. I will say it is worth noting that there are subs available for both of these teams. So for WKU, shout out to Riley Simmer. I know that she is available to be a substitution for them. And then Team Reformed have Dirt sitting on the bench as well. So potentially get to see a substitution from them in the future. Looks like we know some hero bans as well. So, like I mentioned, WKU do get to have that first hero ban. They're banning the Sigma. I think it's boding well for a double sniper composition. And then Team Reformed is going to ban Kiriko here. All right. Maybe we get to see some Ana action here. Double flex support. If it's going to happen anywhere, I think it could happen here. Let's head into things. Take a look at Circuit Royale. Team Reformed at that match point.
Ready for battle.
Also on the defense here. Does look like Social wants to play some Ana. Okay, the sim is sticking? Well, this is just the TP out for everybody to get there. No, Temp is at the bridge, ready to go. So we will be getting a little bit of Symmetra here on Circuit. Seaful over on the Sojourn as well, and WKU. Yeah, I was expecting this from them, and it worked out great for them last time. So let's see if this double sniper composition and that double flex support backline is going to be able to get this series tied up, force that map number 3. Nice positioning here from Dion, trying to control this angle. Oh, and even as the teleport from Temp to, well, maybe not anymore, but it's a good idea to be able to just kind of get out quickly. At some point, though, you are going to have to find a limb here, and just as Dion makes the rotation out, Crybaby steps in and finds the headshot. Looking for the Ana as well, and this has already created so much space for WKU to start walking. The shield, of course, is going to provide ammunition here for Temp, so WKU is going to have to be aware of that Symmetra the longer the fight drags on here. Bakura has that Nemesis form forced out already, but it's another headshot here for Crybaby. This time on to Temp, so you're not going to have to be worried about that Symmetra beaming down your tank. Keller making themselves heard as well with Social down. Team Reformed have to back way up. I mean, poor Seaful just walked into the fight to be sent back to the spawn once again. And this is looking pretty good for WKU to pick up map number, or point number 1 here. It is going to be a close spawn for Dion, though, so Team Reformed will have 5 members here to take a fight, but they're going to be fighting into that site from Crybaby. I think everybody is pretty aware of how Crybaby is going to be hitting these shots, not opting to peek this Widowmaker. The patience, but not going to be rewarded this time. Payload. Alright, creeping forward now. This Dragon Strike ready to go from Keller. But Crybaby down here. Quite the angle is going to pick up Temp, and Dion very, very low on that D.Va as well. And going in quite deep here. Stratocaster does get taken down, and another headshot coming through from Seaful. Alright, this is the disengage here for WKU. Bakura trying to take somebody with them, but won't be able to do that. Whole lot of ultimates available for the side of Team Reformed. That annihilation from Bakura could be massive. Mahiki gonna have to be holding on potentially to that speed ring. Or the sleep dart from Social definitely could help to negate that. But it's the nano first. Dion going in aggressive. Does have that bomb for the remake. The lamp has been forced out already from Slow Lettuce. Oh, and Stratocaster is going to end up falling. Annihilation is in the back line. There's no support here for Team Reformed, but Dion manages to get back into the mech. Fortunately, it's only 2 members alive here for Team Reformed as Crybaby once again finds a headshot. Bakura not in this fight though, so a little bit tricky here for WKU to take all the space that they really want to. Especially in the face of an overclock. Kekai Sanctuary not going to keep Crybaby alive, but at least will deny the value from the remainder of that overclock. Slow Lettuce down, and it is just blue in the kill feed here. No chance for WKU to pop that other support ultimate as Team Reformed holding on strong here on that second point of circuit. What an aggressive position here from Social. Has that teleport from Temp to get back out. Team Reformed, maybe we're gonna play close here. Yeah, have that photon barrier, just waiting for the engage. Sights are up here, so yeah, the jig is up for Temp in the corner there. And looking for the headshot. Ugh, not quite gonna catch Steeple that time. Keller benefiting from those sights as well. Not quite finding anything, but building up to this Dragon Strike once again. Orbit is going to be matched by that Dragon Strike. And Matrix out from Slow Lettuce as well, though. And although Crybaby taken down, it should be WKU cleaning up this fight. Not without a little bit of trades. However, it's going to be a bit of a walk here for Seaful and Mukiki. It's going to have to be the rest of Team Reformed pushing in to stop this payload from moving too far forward. That Photon Barrier, of course, is still available as well for Team Reformed. The TP in both teams playing so patient here. WKU essentially trying to build up to that Kekai Sanctuary and the Annihilation for Bakura. But it's the Nano over onto Dion once again, and the supports are gone here for WKU. And that is a pretty clean fight win here for Team Reform. Seaful sent back to the spawn, but they will manage to get a bit of a stagger here onto Bakura. I feel like you don't see the Ramontra stagger all that often. Even the aggressive TP in, they're looking for another Elim. They won't end up finding it. Alright, D-Mech comes through, the bomb forced out. And Dion doesn't get back in the mech here. Nice trade through from Seaful, though. This is going to be even numbers as WKU make their way towards that point. They have built up to that Annihilation. Oh, great shot onto Slow Lettuce and the follow through on that anti-nade as well. There's no supports. WKU, they can't even put any progress on or any damage onto that high ground because of that photon barrier. And Social helping the team get another late kill onto Bakura. Sights are up. Hanzo is down. And Dion is just in the back line here. If WKU could demech the D.Va and leave back here, it would be big. But the rest of Team Reformed is pushing up, making sure that there's space for the D.Va to get out. And Bakura not going to have that Annihilation. Time is ticking here. And there is just nobody from WKU to get a touch on that payload. And 78 meters is where it will stop.
Score 0-1. Switching sides.
I think that, yeah, point number 1 went fantastic for WKU, and I think that it's because they kind of caught Team Reformed off guard with those double snipers, but once Reformed was in control of that high ground, it's just so hard to push into with that double sniper composition. As we can see, yeah, it's a lot of limbs here for Team Reformed, kind of across the board, even Social on that flex support getting involved. We had some real pop-off moments there for Crybaby and for Keller. But yeah, once you don't have those nice long angles to work with, and you're trying to push up into a high ground with the Sim TP that is just kind of moving the whole team around, it was tough there for them. Not unwinnable, but it's gonna have to be a very impressive hold here. Some music for you as we wait. I think that Wrecking Ball really could be the next Beethoven. Looks like WKU are sticking with this double sniper composition on the defense. So we'll see what they can get done with it. Well, that's a great way to start. Social back in the spawn here. Dion back over to that D.Va. So it's the same comp for both of these teams. Dion is already in very deep and manages to force out the lamp. Oh, another headshot coming through. Keller buying time here for WKU. It's all they can really hope for. Well, unfortunately, losing Slow Lettuce, even though the trades come through here for WKU, that BAP is going to be so much of the healing that is needed. If they could get this DMAC, it would be big. They managed to do it. They're going to immediately take down that baby D.Va as well. Back to the drawing board here for Team Reformed. They really just need kind of like one opening here. Opportunity to get this Sim TP through before kind of taking a Hanzo log to the dome. Keller already has the Dragon Strike ready to go. Fantastic point to use it as well. Lots of nice long sight lines here. Not a lot of corners for them to hide behind. All right, it is going to be straight across the point there. Catches out Muhiki. A lot of damage onto the rest of the team as well. And the follow through is there for WKU. Another headshot as Keller going to pick up the quad kill. All right. Good stabilization here for WKU as Temp is going to swap off that Sim. So over onto the Widow here. So a lot of pressure, I think, onto Slow Lettuce and Crybaby to try and poke out this Pharah. Hey, I mean, Keller's been hitting the shots too. Definitely could take a couple of logs to the Pharah. There's the Orbit out. Allow Team Reform to push forward, but that Orbit is not going to save you from a Widow headshot. Nano onto Dion as Team Reform are trying to turn this. Is going to be the D.Va Bomb picking up two. Both DPS gone here for WKU. And, I mean, that is massive for Team Reformed if they can just stay alive. It's going to be tough to walk into it, though. Zeful is down. And Bakura is still alive here. Anti-name committed in. That Amp Matrix is ready to go for Slow Lettuce as well. So as soon as Team Reformed kind of push around that other corner, they're probably going to be met with that Baptiste ultimate. Right now, Steeple's trying to build up to that overclock. There's the Amp Matrix. Good disengage coming through here for the side of Team Reformed. And unfortunately for WKU, they get a whole lot of value from that one. They're going to have to wait for the Dragon Strike to come online for Keller, and they're going to have to live through this overclock. The Nemesis form comes out. Bakura staying alive thanks to that lamp from Slow Lettuce. Dragons online, immediately going to be sent through. Splitting off C-Full for the rest of his team. Bakura is looking to chase that as well, and ooh, looking like he might get punished. Yeah, Bakura will end up falling. Stratocaster with a nice pinch onto the Sojourn here, but Dion is still alive. Muhiki finding a double kill, and this should be the point capped up here for the side of Team Reformed. However, Social is down. The Lamp, again, doing a great job keeping WKU alive, but there is the barrage. Temp locking in this payload to that objective, and a little under 3 minutes here for Team Reformed to push nearly to the end of the second point. Nice late kill onto Keller as well off of that Hanzo. Maybe swapping back over. Yeah, is going to. It's just for the touch. Sights on the line for WKU, but everybody from Team Reformed just steering clear of that. Nice jump shot. Not gonna find anything. That Nano ready to go from Social. Ooh, this time over onto Temp. The Pharah gonna find a double kill, make it a triple. Both DPS gone, both supports gone. The Orbit on the point. Basically a celebration here. Team kill for Team Reformed. And Dion is pushing up, has that D.Va Bomb. Going to make it very difficult for WKU to touch. It won't be the Lucio to touch. Keller does manage to get his toes on the point, but now there's a bomb. Ooh, a big stomp onto Keller. A nice lamp again here for Bakura. Keller's going to take down Social. Somebody needs to stay on the point. Looks like it is going to be Bakura for now, but It is numbers advantage here for Team Reformed. Dion is still in that mech as well, and Bakura falling quite low here is going to fall. Social is coming back on that jetpack cap. Down. WKU are doing everything they can to try and stay alive on this point, but the HP bars are dwindling, and that will be map number 2 picked up by Team Reformed, and they will take this best of 3 series in a 2-0 fashion. Oh, fun. Yeah, great nanos on to the D.Va. Gotta love a hero that doesn't have to reload to hit the nano on. Fantastic showing from this D.Va for the side of Team Reform. 35-5. Absolutely incredible stuff here on Circuit Royale. Hey, I think that definitely see why WKU selected it, though. Great look on the double sniper composition. Fortunately, not able to get the win against Team Reformed this time, but I mean, you might have saw it in the chat there, looking like they want a rematch in the grand finals here. Looks like we are waiting on the conclusion of the other match, so I am going to give y'all a quick look at the bracket, just as a reminder what we're looking at here. Now, the scores have to be input from this match, so it's probably not going to be accurate for that, but it's okay. We all got to just see what happened, so we are awaiting the Kitchen versus Fallen Tail right now, so the winner of that is going to go on to face off against WKU Gray. So while we wait for that, I am gonna throw it over to a Be Right Back screen. But before we do that, reminder to everybody, happy Pride Month. Thank you so much for being here to support the Fallen Pride Esports Tournament. This is a charity tournament in support of the Brave Space Alliance, which is a Black trans-led LGBTQ plus community organization based in Chicago. So they are focused on providing community resources, education, and empowerment to the LGBTQ plus community within Chicago. And if you're interested in making a donation to the Brave Space Alliance, you can check out the pinned message in the Twitch chat, which will take you to their website to make that donation. So we will see you on the other side of this quick break, because we are going to be back with the lower grand finals. You are not going to want to miss that, so stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for your patience. It turns out the match happening off stream was an absolute banger of a match going to that third map, but it is Fallen Tail that took the victory over the Kitchen. So now for our lower finals here, we're gonna have WKU Gray versus Fallen Tail here. So excited to get to see these teams on the stream once again. Let's take a look over at WKU Gray, team coming in here from that upper bracket match that we got to see just before this one. We have Keller and Crybaby on DPS, Bakura the tank, Slow Lettuce, and Stratocaster going to be your supports here. On the other side of things, Fallen Tail, we got to see them yesterday, and let's get a reminder here of who is playing for them. We have Ray and Juven on DPS, Pantera the tank, Azu and Crumb going to be on the supports here, and super excited for this match. Fallen Tail going all the way to that map number 3 and the match they just finished here, so they're gonna be nice and warmed up here, but WKU got a nice little bit of a break, a little bit of a reset for them to prepare for this matchup, which is of course also going to determine which team will be our third place team and which will be taking home $500 $50 of that $500 prize pool here. So definitely a little bit on the line here for these teams, but also we are of course here celebrating Pride Month and raising money for the Brave Space Alliance, which is a Black trans-led LGBTQ plus community organization based in Chicago. So this is a charity that looks to focus on providing education and outreach and providing resources to the LGBTQ plus community within that Chicago area. If you're interested in supporting the Brave Space Alliance this month, you can check out the pinned message in our Twitch chat that will take you to the donation page of the Brave Space Alliance. So thank you all so much for tuning in, supporting the Brave Space, and celebrating Pride Month with us here at Fallen Esports. A special shout out as well to XYBA. They're helping us run this production. So once we get into game, all of that observer work is handled by XYBA, and the bracket has been created by them, and the in-game overlays have been created for them. So if you're interested in maybe having a tournament of your own, they offer a wide range of services for running a tournament, including a whole tournament organization. So definitely check them out if you're looking to run a broadcast of your own. We have everybody in the lobby right now. We're waiting on the map pick. So this is the lower finals. A lot on the line. It is still a best of 3 here. So it's going to be that team that gets to 2 map wins that are going to get to go on to that grand finals. Team Reformed is waiting to find out if they're going to have a rematch against WKU Gray or if they're going to be taking on Fallen Tail in that grand finals. And we have a nice updated bracket as well. So I can go ahead and show you that. It's going to include, of course, all of the scores of these matches. So we can see that Fallen Tail actually got knocked into this lower bracket by Team Reformed in the very first round. So Fallen Tail has fought their way through this lower bracket to get to the lower finals. So that's kind of fun because no matter which team wins here, it's going to be a little bit of a grudge match in that grand finals. Maybe a winner from, or a loser from yesterday or from very recent here. So excited to get to see that grand finals, which will of course be a best of 5. So we'll be stepping it up a little bit there. But for our first map here in our lower bracket finals, it is going to be, of course, a control map. And a reminder as well, if you haven't been following along, that we are using Face It Season 9 map pool. So a lot of these players are getting familiarized with the maps. There's, of course, some that have been followed over from Season 8, but some new maps in the mix as well. And we are going to get to see one of those newer maps here in the map pool. It is the recently reworked Antarctic Peninsula for map number 1. And that is WKU that got to select that map. So they are also going to have the first hero ban here. they're going to opt to ban out the Sojourn. So taking a DPS off the table here for both of these teams, and meaning that Fallen will have to go for a tank or a support ban, and seeing a bit of a pattern here between a lot of these kind of top tier talent teams. We're going to get the Lucio ban, map number 1. All right, we have our band set. We have our map set now, of course, because we are following the Faceit rules here. That does mean that whoever loses map number 1 will at least get a little bit of an advantage heading into map number 2, where they'll be able to select the mode that we go to, and they'll be able to select the map that we go to, as long as it's within that Faceit Season 9 map pool, which is, of course, starting on Monday, Season 9. Lots of excitement around that. Fallen Esports has several teams that are going to be competing in Faceit League. So make sure that you join the Discord, follow them on Twitter to stay up to date on all of the teams that are going to be competing under the Fallen Esports banner. Definitely worth noting as well, a lot of the teams that we have in this tournament will have either players or kind of groups of players that are going to be playing in Faceit as well. So it's definitely a good time, I think, to just get a little bit of competition going before the Faceit season starts. And I think that following the map pool and the ban rules and all of that good stuff is really just a nice kind of segue in to that Season 9. So we'll get to see some familiar faces, I think, some returning players once we move into that next season. Everybody is in the lobby. Our bands are ready. Map is ready. We're just waiting on the players right now. Again, reminder, Fallen Tail has, like, just come off of playing their last match. WKU had a little bit of time to sit and wait, but Fallen Tail, of course, just winning out over the Kitchen, which unfortunately didn't actually get to see the Kitchen on stream, but shout out to them. They did have a pretty good run through. They dropped down in that winners round 2, again dropping down from Team Reformed here. So definitely a strong team to be able to take a map off of Fallen Tail, who have really just built up momentum all through this lower bracket. So this is going to be a pretty good series. It's tough, right? Because it's still only that best of 3. So first to 2, there's really no room to be making mistakes here if you are either of these teams. And again, $50 on the line here. We have the prize pool of $500, and that is split between the top 3 teams. So team that comes first is going to be walking away with $300. $150 to team that comes second, and then it's $50 to that third place team. So we're going to be crowning our third place team here today, and then we'll find out first and second shortly after that. Just a little reminder, everybody. Happy Pride Month. Definitely check out the Brave Space Alliance. That's who we're supporting. There's so many other fantastic charities as well. Pride Month is a really good time to donate some money or time or just energy in to the LGBTQ plus community. And Fallen Esports is so pleased to be able to support the Brave Space Alliance during this charity event. And there will be more events happening kind of throughout the month. I was really hoping that I'd be able to get some co-streams in of the Faceit Season 9 teams. Unfortunately, I am going to be away for the remainder of June, but definitely keep an eye on their Twitter. There might be some other things happening in the server that you can come out and support and just get involved in the Fallen Esports community. Looks like our map is ready, so we are getting ready to head into things here. Antarctic Peninsula, no Sojourn, no Lucio, and this is going to be kicking off our lower bracket finals. Nice bit of variety here. We got to see Oasis, map number 1 in our last series. At number 2, Antarctic. Maybe channeling some Ilios for the grand finals. Okay, interesting. Pantera. thinking about it. Thinking about the Reinhardt. I was told before we started the stream yesterday that Pantera stepping in after being away from Overwatch for a little while here, and honestly, doesn't look like they were gone at all. Really just found their stride back in. And that stride is not going to include the Reinhardt for this sub point. So we head over to Icebreaker. Doors have opened. It is going to be that Mizuki coming in place of the Lucio. Kiriko's for both teams. Bakura with very little HP is going to be able to get that back, but Fallen pushing forward, taking a lot of space here. The wall is going to get broken down. Juven over on this Genji as well, so maybe going to have a tough time on paper against that Cassidy, but Crybaby taken down by the Genji here. Keller gone as well, so Fallen already started off up in numbers here. No DPS for WKU, and they are continuing to march forward here, finding slow lettuce. Pantera playing cautious. Doesn't want to get walled off. There is that wall. Point capture going the way of Fallen as start building up some percentage here and trying to build up some ults as well. Pantera very much leading in this Annihilation charge here. There's Crybaby getting a little revenge on Juven, and not done yet. Crybaby has been a fantastic presence on this WKU team yesterday, continuing that today. And Fallen are just going to cede the point here. It's some late kills onto Reyna and Crumb, but 23% for Fallen to work with. At Deadeye and Annihilation coming online. Leading in the Kitsune Rush as well, but WKU Stratocaster already has this Kikai Sanctuary online, most likely going to be used. Oh, actually early in the fight here, they wall off the tank. It forces out the Annihilation. Pantera falls. Great aggression there from WKU. Looking to get some later kills as well. Juven will end up falling, but everybody else from Fallen Tail backing up, respecting the damage output here from WKU and those walls from Keller as well. Gone ahead and built up that Blizzard. All ultimates on the board except for that Kikai Sanctuary for WKU Gray, and fortunately Fallen hitting that Annihilation and another great wall here from Keller. It is going to be the Kitsune Rush first from Stella. Helps take down Keller, but there is a Kitsune Rush in response. WKU forced it back up. That Deadeye, the zoning perfectly here, allowing Fallen Tail to flip this point over. WKU is still lurking around, though. Have some ults to try and take this back, but they don't quite have the numbers. And yeah, good a blade here coming in from Juven is going to take down both supports before falling, but that is going to be enough for Fallen Tail to win the point and actually gain the lead here as well. Really approaching that 60% that WKU had built up. However, Fallen only have the Sanctuary to work with for this next fight. It's not going to help you against that Annihilation, but if Bakura steps into it, it will eat up all of the healing from Slow Lettuce. Alright, there's the Sanctuary out, and it's a flashbang on. It is going to be the trade that comes through here. Annihilation forced out. Bakura has no HP to work with somehow. Still alive, but not for long. Stella going to take down that tank, and Fallen very much extending the lead here on Icebreaker. And they're going to have two ultimates here to try and hold this. WKU don't have much in the form of speed to get in for a quick touch, but it seems like they will be going back in for the recontest. They have this Blizzard to work with. Just a matter of surviving this Annihilation and trying to live through the Deadeye as well. Crybaby down here. That is so much damage from the flank gone. There's the Annihilation, and the Sanctuary comes out, but is going to be Pantera actually getting frozen up in that Blizzard. The Deadeye is good from Reyna. Both supports are down from WKU, and it is overtime here, so they need to keep somebody on the point, and it is only Bagora here. Juven taking that tank down, and no touch will come through. WKU are going to fall here, and Fallen starting with a point on Icebreaker.
1-0.
One death for Stella here. Juven and Pantera doing a great job putting out the eliminations here. We'll have to see if they stick with this composition as we head over to labs here. WKU looking like they're going to swap up the back line a little bit here. I think this makes a lot of sense if you're playing against Juven's Genji. We're going to move Stratocaster over onto the Brigitte here, and then Slow Lettuce over onto that Juno. So nice little bit of a speed advantage here for WKU. He's going to help them gain control of this high ground first. The wall just to protect WKU. Does actually wall off Juven a little bit, but that Genji has enough mobility to maneuver around that. Point has opened here, but both these teams are going to be more so focused on finding these eliminations first. Don't want to drop down onto the point and be a sitting duck. Crybaby is on a very hard angle right now. Does end up falling, but Pantera gets traded out here, and without the tank, Fallen are just not going to be able to put any presence on the point here. Flip goes over to WKU, but while the tank was on the point for WKU, the supports are getting deleted on the high ground here, and it is a quick flip over from Fallen. 8% for WKU is all they'll get. And Fallen have Pantera on this point. WKU are still looking to maybe try and contest this here. All the cooldowns forced out from Keller, who he's gonna have that Blizzard fairly soon. Reinforcements have arrived from WKU, but not their tank just yet. And with Crybaby falling, that Deadeye gone here, it's gonna have to be the disengage that comes through from WKU. They're still here though. They have a Deadeye of their own to try and work with. Reyna on the flank, putting so much damage into Bakura. The Blizzard gets canceled. A fantastic headshot from Stella onto Keller there, and a little bit of cleanup here for Fallen, walking forward, trying to get some of those late kills. We'll pick up the tank. At above 50%, Fallen have yet to commit an ultimate into this fight. However, WKU are coming in with some pretty big ults as well. That rally from Stratocaster might be the difference maker in living through this blade. Ooh, already though, nice slow field actually going to allow a lot of damage to go onto Juven, so they're just going to back right up. They don't find anything with the blade. They don't even bait out an ultimate. There's the Kai Sanctuary. Fallen are trying to use it to control some space, and they've already found two limbs here. The orbit from Slow Lettuce is in. Allows for some assists on to the DPS of Fallen, but UKU just don't have the bodies alive to get to the point, and now at 90%, Fallen looking to run away with Antarctic Peninsula here. The rally out from Stratocaster is going to find the limb onto Pantera. That annihilation out, and fantastic touch coming through from Keller as well. Does trigger the overtime here for WKU from down as well. Crybaby walking in, doing the damage, and helping this team flip the point. WKU managed to stay alive in this map, but it's a long way to go for them to tie this up and take us to that tiebreaker of Anomaly. Both these Rams have that annihilation ready to go. Difference maker of that Deadeye of Crybaby. Have to help WKU survive through a fight and prepare them for the next one. And it's immediately canceled. All the Deadeye from Crybaby is down. Pantera has popped that annihilation early. Finds both DPS here from WKU. Bakura still holding on to this annihilation, potentially looking to use it later in the fight here, but the supports are being absolutely zoned out from that tank. Bakura has no backup here, has the annihilation on the point, and unfortunately, the burst healing from the Brig and the Juno, it's just not going to be enough for Bakura to stay alive. Overtime is gone, and Fallen Tail will take map number 1, 2-0. Reyna with the play of the game. Strong showing from the Cassidys on both sides. Now a nice angle helping to contribute to a couple of fight wins here. But unfortunately, WKU weren't able to come back from that. Fantastic showing across the board here for Fallen. Juven on that Genji, I mean, was the target of, I believe, a couple of bans the last time we got to see Fallen on the stream here. So definitely anticipating that there could be a Genji ban in the future here, courtesy of WKU. All right, so since WKU didn't win out on Antarctic there, that does mean that they are going to get to select the map we go to. And the mode as well. So the mode and then the map from the Face It Season 9 map pool. We've had a tendency to get a lot of escort maps as map number 2, so I think it could be a potential here, but I am always down for some Flashpoint. Absolutely would love to see some Surabasa. New Junk City would be fine too, I suppose. And interestingly, we have not seen a push map on stream, which I do find kind of maybe surprising. I feel like people used to quite like push, I thought, but I feel like we've kind of been moving away from it. People aren't as interested in it anymore. I think that push can be really unpredictable, so sometimes if you're one of the teams playing it, might want to back away from a little bit, you know? Couple of fight wins, an entire map can basically just change direction, so we will see. And as a reminder as well, we are here celebrating Pride Month. So happy Pride to everybody in chat. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching some Overwatch, and raising awareness for the Brave Space Alliance, which is a LGBTQ plus community organization based in Chicago. So this is a charity that focuses on community resources, education, and empowerment for the LGBTQ plus community in that Chicago area. If you're interested in supporting the Brave Space with us, you can check out our pinned tweet or our pinned message in the Twitch chat, which will have a link to the donation page of the Brave Space Alliance website. So thank you all so much. Really appreciate you being here and getting to see some familiar faces and maybe some new ones to you guys as well. And a reminder, too, that this is our lower finals here. So the winning team is going to go on to face Team Reformed in those grand finals, which will be a best of 5. This one, though, first to 2. So WKU Gray back is up against the wall right now. They need to tie this series up if they want a chance to get revenge on Team Reformed for sending them down here from those upper finals. WKU, no surprise here if you have been following along from the last match, because they had a lot of success on this map. Didn't quite find the win, but they definitely looked good on it. We are going to an escort map for map number 2, and we are going to Circuit Royale. Now the question becomes, is Fallen Tail aware? Do they know? It will be the ban coming through from, oh, okay, interesting. So, Fallen are aware of what WKU want to run here. WKU actually deferred the hero ban here. And Fallen are immediately going to take that and ban the Widowmaker. Yeah, Crybaby absolutely popped off on the Widowmaker in the last series and in the previous series that we got to see these teams play, or this team play against Gan Galaxy. So yeah, no surprise to me. Widow ban, and then in response, it will be a Sigma ban coming through from the side of WKU. So they're still not looking to have that Sigma. They can still play that Hanzo here for Keller. Looks like we're ready to head into the map though, so let's see, what is WKU Gray going to do without that Widowmaker on the table? What is Crybaby going to pivot over towards? Let's find out.
Ready for battle.
All right, Fallen looking to close this series out. Head on up to the grand finals where Team Reformed is awaiting. Fallen is going to be on the defense first here, so this composition is at least what they're going to be running for our first point here on circuit. Ooh, late Pharah swap here, though, off of that Mei. Interesting. I feel like we don't see the Pharah on defense that much here on circuit. I feel like if you're going to see it, it's usually on the attack. So we'll see what Juven can get done with this. When you have the Ayari and the BAP, you're definitely going to have to play pretty careful here on that Pharah, because although the Widow was banned out, WKU do have that Ayari BAP, so hit scan supports here that are going to be focusing down this Pharah a little bit. The Ram mirror for both teams, and well, there's our answer. Crybaby, no Widow available. He's going to move over to the Freya, so the Archer composition here for WKU Gray. It is a lot of spam damage here that is going to be focused on to potentially the tank here. Pantera already having to give up that first corner, and the Nemesis form out for both of these tanks. So far, no limbs coming through, though, as it's just Fallen ceding space. Waiting for this poke damage to come in from Juven, and then Reyna to follow up on that damage. Find the opening. Carta's still creeping forward there. Oh, the slide from Reyna into the statue, and immediately gonna get punished by Keller there. First blood of our Circuit Royale. This payload just continues to move forward here. I love it. The only things we're seeing in the kill feed are the deployables. Okay, there we go. Crumb, as Keller picks up a second here. And Fallen, Pantera is so low, has to use the Nemesis form, but it's going to have such a hard time contesting this point. The lamp keeping them alive momentarily, but that lamp is going to subside, and there's an Amp Matrix to deal with it. The barrage does take down Bakura, though, so no tank here for WKU, but they have lots of ultimates to work with, and that Captive Sun plus Dragons will help secure that second point. Start pushing up and taking this high ground. All right, we have the Bola ready to go for Crybaby, and ooh, okay, Reyna is yeah, actually over on the Freya as well, and I mean it's 72%. Build up a lot of damage. There is the Bola out, and Juven down here. The Amp Matrix came out from Stella. It is going to help trade things out here, taking down Keller. So even numbers, but Payload is still creeping forward here. Crybaby falling, though, so there's no DPS for WKU to work with, and no ults to try and make a quick trade here either. The lamp gets forced out from Slow Lettuce, and the Baptiste does fall. Looks like Bakura might be able to make it out alive, but Juven is off of that Pharah onto the Tracer, and already being seen and heard. Bakura back to the spawn, and that means Fallen are going to get themselves set up on the high ground here as we have a request for a pause coming through. many requests for a pause coming through. There we go. There we go. Oh, okay. Yes, it was Bakura. That was a little bit AFK or maybe lagged out. Oh god, tapped out. See, I love this. You can see the chat, so I don't even have to explain what's happening here. You guys can just hear it straight from the players. But, alright, gonna get sorted out here. Bakura, okay, back into the mix. Has the Annihilation to work with as well. Both teams gonna give us the R. Back into it. Like nothing ever happened. Annihilation, yeah, ready to go actually from both of these Ramatras. But Crumb having the Captive Sun here is definitely going to be a big advantage for Fallen Tail. They're going to go ahead and open with that Captive Sun. And Crybaby ends up falling. Actually not victim of the Captive Sun, though. From a 1-2 of Juven plus Pantera. And that is flood forward here for Fallen. Great timing while they're engaged there. They managed to hold on to the Annihilation. Reyna does get sent back to spawn, however, so there's a small window here for WKU to walk forward without taking a lot of spam damage. Reyna makes that swap over to the Sojourn as well. WKU gotta move pretty quickly here because yeah, this is big to not have Fallen just spamming down damage from that high ground onto you. Well, unfortunately, Keller's gonna fall, so they can't use that Dragon Strike. Nemesis form forced out as well, and Juven on this Tracer. Wow, just peppering in the damage onto WKU. And although WKU have ults to work with here, they are just not finding the opportunity to use them. Just really great proactive plays coming through from Fallen. It feels like they're using an ultimate first in every one of these fights, or they're finding one of those picks. Dragon's in is going to at least force the positioning from Pantera. The Nemesis form out as well. WKU need to find this Elim, but Annihilation comes through, going to help Pantera survive, and going to allow Reyna to just delete WKU Gray. Another fight win here as the supports trying to lift. Pantera is going to respect the spawn doors of WKU. Keller gonna make that swap off of the Hanzo, and nice headshot there from Crybaby. I think Reyna pushed up a little bit too far there. And Matrix on the high ground, trying to deny this walk from WKU. Captive Sun connects on just a crumb there, but you do find the elimination. Now it's on to Stella. Keller and Stratocaster working hand in hand there. Meanwhile, though, Juven has taken out Slow Lettuce. So the BAP gone for WKU. It's just going to be that Yari healing. There, you heard it. 60 seconds on the clock here. Finally, some movement on the payload. WKU have that Bob to work with as well, so that's going to be a nice little bit of HP pool into the fight for them. And a good angle as well if Crybaby can get it into the back line. It's going to be Bob tossed out, and yeah, makes... Oh, it's a triple kill! Oh, the lamp gets taken down by that Vortex. Excellent combo there from Pantera. Juven does end up paying for it, but that is a pretty good fight win here. And with 20 seconds on the clock, WKU are going to be scrambling to get a clean fight in. Have that Am Matrix and the Pulse Bomb to work with, but look at how much space Pantera is controlling. There's the Captive Sun. It connects onto 2, and the Overclock gonna deny the touch from Bakura. The tanks get traded out, but there's nobody else from WKU to touch that point. That will be it. A hold on second here. Fallen looking to make this a 2-0 series and move on to those finals.
Initiating match.
Looking at the stats here, Pantera and Juven. I mean, I feel like I've been saying their names a lot, but the tank and that flex DPS have just been absolutely popping off here for Fallen. And WKU they had a great push through first point, but once again, getting stalled out on second. That is what we saw in the last series as well. Unfortunately, just have so much trouble accessing that high ground on the second point. The spam damage coming through from Fallen, just a little bit too much for them, and they ran into the exact same thing when they played against Team Reformed here. Let's see how they're going to make an adjustment here to make sure that this is not a repeat of their last series. WKU did a really strong defense here to tie us up in the series, force that map number 3, and try and find their way into those finals.
4, 3, 2, 1.
No Widow in their hands. They're going to have Crybaby on the Sojourn for defense. Keller over the Genji as well, and then ooh, okay, Slow Lettuce gonna show us the Ana. So let's see what they can get done on that. It will be at least a little pressure onto Juven, who is back over on that Pharah. A little more conventional here for the attack, and unfortunately, Slow Lettuce already taken down, and that is so much healing gone. Bakura, yeah, gonna be the next one to fall. Stratocaster's gonna do their best on that Kiriko to keep everybody else alive, but there's just too much spam damage, and of course, a Nemesis form in your face as well. And oh, looking for maybe a late kill onto Keller, but the Genji will be able to get back towards that spawn. Any swaps to come through? Yes, Keller's going to move over onto the Tracer. Anti-nade connects onto Pantera. We'll be able to get healed up afterwards, however, so No harm done here for Fallen as they continue to move that payload forward. And yeah, you can see WKU, and they aren't staging for, and they don't have a very good opportunity to go for the recontest. Keller maybe thinking about it, but is going to get taken down late here. And WKU just kind of falling apart here. They need to survive and get a regroup. Stratocaster is building up to that Kitsune Rush, but Juven actually pushes a little bit too far. Pantera's gonna commit this Annihilation as well. Great anti-nade there from Slow Lettuce. Now the Annihilation does take down Crybaby, but I mean, this is the chance that WKU need to put a stop to this payload. And they are going to grab that opportunity. Maybe find some late kills here. Keller going for the melee kills, needs the reload. Stratocaster gonna help take down that Baptiste, and that is actually a very nice kind of late kill here for WKU, but Fallen always looking to find a quick trade here. They are still staying in the fight, and they are not gonna find that quick trade this time. Pantera sent back to the spawn. Keller pushes too far. That's a great railgun coming through from Reyna, but Crybaby's gonna hit right back, so Keller will get back into the fight fairly quickly on that Tracer. And now WKU have a slate of ultimates to work with. Well, it's just going to be a matter of getting into the cycle here. They cannot dump all of these ultimates in one fight, and it's going to be tough to do that because there's so many ults ready to go from Fallen. There's the overclock. Crybaby finding the headshot, has this nano to work with as well, and making excellent use from it. Gonna go for the aggressive slide in. Is it gonna pay off? Yes, Keller is there to help clean things up, and it is going to be a great fight win here from WKU, burning a little bit more time off of that 4+ minute time bank that Fallen had moving into the second point. Looks like they're opting to play close as well. Maybe taking a page out of the book from Team Reformed. Both support ults committed in from Fallen. It is going to be a kite out of that Amp Matrix, but the Captive Sun connects on to 2. There is the follow-up there. Pulse Bomb connects on. Ooh, nice lamp. As it is going to keep them alive here. And they're going to start moving this payload forward. Both DPS ultimates and an Annihilation very soon here from Fallen. Bakura has to swap over to the Wrecking Ball to touch and is going to eat a whole bunch of rocket damage. Will there be another touch? Yes, one. But Bakura has no HP. Keller is up next, and there will not be a third touch. That will be it. Fallen Tail are going to take the series 2-0 here. They're going to be heading in to that grand finals up against Team Reformed that sent them down into this lower bracket all the way. Winners round number 1. Great showing from the Nano overclock there. Whole lot of damage from Fallen Tail, but excellent showing here from WKU Gray. They are going to pick up that third place, which means that they will be going home with $50 from that prize pool. And of course, it's all in support of charity as well. So thank you all so much for being here, watching some good games. We didn't get that map number 3, but 2 really strong teams here. So fantastic stuff from Fallen. Moving on into those grand finals. So that is where we are going to move on up to a best of 5. So we're going to get to see a little bit more action in that grand final. So we'll have to wait to get into the lobby there, where there is going to be pretty good advantage for our team awaiting them, Team Reformed. Not only are they going to be selecting the first map, they're also going to get to select the side that they're on. I'm guessing that this means that the first map doesn't have to be Control. I'm reading the rulebook here. I mean, because I feel like getting the pick of what side you start on for a Control map is not really that much of an advantage. So I'm assuming that this means that they can pick any map, any mode. We've been on Control this whole time, but maybe they want to shake things up. Maybe they want to send us to a hybrid map as map number 1. Could happen. And then they will also have the first hero ban as well. So we'll see what they're going to take us to. Again, all of these maps are maps from the Face It Season 9 map pool. So most of them, I think, have remained pretty consistent coming in from Season 8. Especially those Flashpoint and the push maps. I mean, we did have like kind of a swap out where I believe it's New Junk City that is in for Atlas. I believe it was Atlas and Saragossa last time. So yeah, I'm not great at memorizing these things, but definitely some changes in the escort and the hybrid maps as well. Dorado in, Numbani in. So we'll have to see. Update some of these overlays. Looks like we are getting some players into the lobby here, so this should be a pretty quick turnaround. Hopefully, I mean, knock on wood. Fallen Tail is of course already in that lobby. But yeah, once WKU Gray gets everybody in there, we'll find out where we're going for that map number 1. Honestly, I'm quite hoping that they're gonna take us to like a hybrid or an escort where they get to pick the side. But there's really no guarantee here. As let's take a look over at our roster. I know that we took a look at these teams already, but on the side of Fallen Tail here, so we just got to see them on the screen, but I am going to remind you. We are going to have Ray, Juven on the tanks. Oh, sorry, on the DPS here. Pantera on the tank. Azu and Crumb going to be the supports here. And also kind of like important to note here is that these are the only 5 players on the roster. You know, a lot of these other teams have potential substitutions that could be put in. But yeah, Fallen Tail, it is 5 members. These are the players that we're going to be seeing throughout the duration of this grand finals, which again, best of 5 here, so an opportunity to maybe shake things up a little bit, change things around if you had more players on the roster. Now, on the other side of things, we are going to have a team reformed, which again, we got to see on the stream to begin here, but I'll send you a little reminder of who's going to be playing for them. We have Temp and Seaful on the DPS, Dion on tanks, Social and Muhiki on those support roles. And yes, that is Seaful on the DPS, and I feel like has moved over from tank fairly well, has looked pretty good here. Team Reformed definitely very, very strong. And there's a potential for this one to go quite the distance here. And you know what? I feel like we have been pretty lucky with the matches that we have been seeing on the broadcast here. Of course, unfortunately, we could not cover all of the matches. There were 8 teams that signed up for this tournament. So we couldn't quite fit all of them in. But let's take a look over at our bracket because there have been so many close matches that made it on to the stream here. And a reminder that lower round 4, the score has not been updated just yet. But Fallen Tail is going to be moving on to that grand finals. In case you are curious, we do have the VOD from yesterday available. And yesterday we covered 3 matches. So we had Gan Galaxy versus Rosade, 3-map banger. Then we moved on to WKU Gray versus Gan Galaxy, another 3-map going the distance. And then we moved into the lower round 2, and we watched Fallen Tail versus Gan Galaxy. So if you are interested in checking out the matches from yesterday, those are available on the Fallen Esports Twitch. That VOD is available, so check that out if you are interested. Also, a little bit of an update here. Dion is actually not going to be in for the tank for the side of Reform. So let's take a look at this roster. Like I mentioned, there are some substitutions here, and we are going to get Dirt in on that tank role. Otherwise, everything is going to be the same here. But yeah, excited to see Dirt on the stream here for the first time. And we will see what Team Reformed can get done with this. Like I mentioned earlier, they are in control of that map pick, and I was subtly suggesting that we maybe don't go to control for the first map, but alas, it will be control. We're gonna go back over to Antarctic Peninsula. We do have a ban coming through here as well from Reformed. Banning the Sojourn here, so I mean, were they watching the last series? Maybe they were. Taking the Sojourn out of the hands of Ray, maybe it's a good idea. It might be the play, honestly. So we'll see what we end up with instead. Ray is a talented hit scan. I'm sure that she's going to be able to pivot over. This does, of course, mean that for the side of Fallen, they're gonna have to go for a tank or a support ban here. And I mean, look, I said that there might be a pattern that is forming. I feel like we have seen the Lucio get banned out time and time again, but could swap things up here. Don't know. Maybe we want to go back over to the Lucio Kiriko backline. Is always possible. But it does seem like Fallen Tail have more opted to run that Mizuki on the control maps. I believe even when we watched them yesterday in the lower match that we streamed, it was a Kiriko Mizuki on the control map. I was also kind of hoping that we get to see some Ilios here, because again, reminder, we're following the Face It Season 9 map pool. So we got to see Oasis today, we got to see Antarctic already today. I was kind of hoping for the trifecta that we get to see Ilios, but you know what? We can always hope for a map number 5, and we can just circle back to the Ilios. I think maybe that's the plan that we're going for here. As alright, well, Fallen locked in on that pattern. It will be a Lucio ban here for Antarctic, so expecting some Kiriko and some Mizuki here, potentially from both of the teams. As we head into the control map again. 1st to 3 here. Oh, so I guess I can update my maps a little bit. Yeah, hold up. I can throw in the 5 maps here. Just, we're trying to speak it into existence that we're gonna get to go to that map number 5. Make the teams work for the prize money a little bit. As it will be $300 to the first place team. 150 to our second place team here. So regardless of the outcome of this match, it is going to be both teams walking away with a little bit of money. I'll update my score here. It is currently 0-0. Fallen has not taken a map yet. Yeah, so a little bit of money on the line, and of course, we are here raising money for the Brave Space Alliance, so you can check their website out, check out the pinned message in our Twitch chat. That'll send you to the donation page for the Brave Space Alliance, which is a Black and trans-led LGBTQ+ community organization that is focused on community resources, education, and empowerment for the LGBTQ+ community within the Chicago area. So if you're interested in supporting this charity with us this Pride Month, definitely check out that link. Thank you so much. Everything helps support the LGBTQ community, so it's very, very much appreciated. And happy Pride Month to everybody. I hope that you've been enjoying the streams yesterday and today on our Fallen Pride tournament. There are going to be some other events happening throughout the month, so check out the Fallen Esports Twitter, join the Fallen Esports Discord as well. Lots of interesting things happening in here, including some pugs that have been kind of getting more popular, more kind of geared towards those higher ranked players. So if you want some sweaty pugs, I think Fallen Esports can hook you up. Massive shout out as well to XYBA. They are our production partner for this tournament. So not only is all of the signups and the brackets being done through their website, but we are also getting fantastic observing and in-game overlays from XYBA. So if you are interested in having a tournament, maybe getting it broadcasted, definitely check out XYBA. They have all of the resources that you need, including tournament organization as a whole. So check them out and stay tuned because we are ready to kick off our grand finals here. It is Fallen Tail versus Team Reformed. One team ran all the way through the upper bracket from round 1. Fallen Tail running all the way through that lower bracket from round 2. So let's get into things here. It is going to be a deadly one. Of course, first to 3. More opportunity to see some of these maps from the FACEIT 9 map pool.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1.
All right,
Capture the objective.
doors have opened. Reminder, no Lucio, no Sojourn. We are on that Mizuki Kiriko backline. Dirt gonna be showing up on the Sigma here against Pantera over on that Mauga. Cassidy's out for both teams, and it's gonna be the Cassidy from Team Reform taking down that Genji. Both DPS now gone here for Fallen Tail. And the point has opened as well, so Team Reformed are gonna get boots on the ground. Temp capping up the point, and Fallen Tail just trying to live right now. And unfortunately, that plan is not working out so well for Crumb, as Dirt is gonna pick up a 2K there. Pantera sent back a headshot from Seaful. And it will be a regroup here for Fallen and a bit of an adjustment. Pantera is gonna move over and match this Sigma. Dash in from Juven. Doesn't find an elimination. Do a bit of damage here, but the follow-up not there. It's a wall onto Pantera, who manages to stay alive here, and there's the dash reset that Juven was looking for. Gonna take out Social and Temp, and Wasifo falling as well. Ooh, a DPS to be seen here from Team Reformed, and not much of a stagger on the point either, so great clap back here from Fallen. 44% given over to Team Reformed, who do have a lot of ults coming online, but Fallen didn't have to use anything to take that, so they are gonna have basically an ult fiesta here for this next point. It is gonna be the wall trying to split out Juven, and it's a great chain here from Social. Juven almost made it out of that, but it's gonna be the Genji falling here, and Reyna falling as well, so there's no DPS as Team Reformed have just marched their way back onto this point. No ultimates needed, just a well-placed wall and a better placed chain. Late kill onto Crumb. We'll get that wave spawn with Pantera, however, so full regroup coming online here as we are going to have 10 ultimates on the board between these two teams. Matter of restraint here. Which team can win with fewer ultimates? Alright, Flux is out for both. It is going to be both Sigma's caught in that. It is going to be... Oh, the Blizzard actually not getting eaten by that. It's massive. It connects onto 3 here from Fallen, and that is just great positioning there from Seaful. Steps into that Kikai Sanctuary to drop the Blizzard right in the middle. Of course, that snowball will get eaten up if you hit the wall of that Sanctuary. Formed winning that out, holding on to the Deadeye and this Kitsune rush. And Fallen have made adjustments here. They need to get a touch on the point. They have Crumb on the Juno to give some speed to Pantera on this Hazard. I mean, the Kitsune rush is basically just the yellow brick road to the point right now for Fallen, and seems to be taking them where they want to go, but trades come out from both sides. The flip comes through in time, though, and great deflect there from Juven. Not out of the woods just yet, though. Needs to take down Dirt on this Sigma. Nice late kill here for Fallen. 99% on the board, though. Team Reformed. They just need one fight win. They're gonna move Reaper, or move over onto the Reaper off of that Mei to try and make it happen. The Deadeye might be enough to get some space for Team Reform to move on to the point, maybe even get that flip over, but you're gonna be looking at this blade from Juven. It's ready to go. Over on the side, does get hindered, and gets hit with the rock, and gets hit with the Deadeye. That is all of the response needed for that blade. However, both the supports are actually gone here for Team Reformed. Great follow-up here from Fallen to push forward on all of those cooldowns that were used onto Juven. And now, Fallen approaching that 99% and what looked like a clean-cut win here for Team Reformed. Well, it's down to the wire here. There is going to be some contest on the point. Dirt has that Gravitic Flux to work with. The Deadeye from Reyna gets chained down, but it's still holding it. A little bit of damage out. Won't find the Elim. Trades come through. Muhiki is gone, though. And the Kitsune Rush is ready to go nearly for Stella. Great downpour from Pantera, and Fallen have made the comeback. The team kill. And the Kitsune Rush in celebration as they will pick up the first point here on Antarctic.
Score 1-0.
I'm just seeing the chat now. Fallen entered in their own tourney. I think that this was a team that was just kind of thrown together and has the Fallen name. I'm saying that because I don't see these players listed on their kind of like teams and staff section of their Discord. And I think that Fallen Tail is kind of new branding for them. All right. Stella with 0 deaths here. That Kiriko from Fallen Tail doing a fantastic job of being as slippery as possible. As we head over to Icebreaker for point number 2. Team Reformed looking to tie this map up, force that anomaly sub-map. They're going to try to use the Mauga to make it happen. They're going to keep Seafull over on this Reaper as well, and whew, damage has been done. Social is down. Great follow through onto Temp as well, and yeah, it's just the cleanup here for Fallen Tail. They do end up losing Crumb, but the point has opened, and Fallen will get the percentage first here on the point. Alright, interesting. Team Reformed are going to be sticking with this Mauga composition. We saw Fallen swap off of the Mauga very, very quickly in the face of a Sigma here, but Team Reformed gonna make a little bit of a change up here. Gonna try to win out on this tank duel. Enemy rotation through the inside here. The stop comes in. Not the follow through that was necessarily needed. Does force a lot of cooldowns out of Pantera. But the Mauga just eats so much damage, and that's kind of the beauty of playing the Sigma into the Mauga, is you can just cycle through your cooldown so well. That shout from the Mauga just not getting any of that lifesteal. Both Cassidys have been traded out here. Oh, the Kitsune Rush, I believe, was canceled. Unfortunately, Stella not able to get that one out, and with Crumb falling as well. That should be Team Reformed getting the flip over. And not only did they do it without any ultimates, they managed to get an ultimate out of Fallen. Little stagger on the point there, as Juven's gonna get the percentage up above 50% there for Fallen. Big Kitsune Rush advantage here for Team Reformed, as Pantera is floating through the skies, doing a little scouting here on the Sigma. There's the Kitsune Rush in, and the chain going over onto Pantera as well. Immediately gets deleted here as Dirt finds the second kill as well. Temp has fallen, but the damage is there in the forms of other roles for Team Reformed. Going for the touch the spawn door challenge acquired here by Dirt. They're going to have to give a little bit of space here. They do want to get Temp back into this fight before they take a full-on team fight again. Especially considering the slew of ultimates available for both of these teams. Kekai Sanctuary up. Ooh, Crumb tries to walk in to finish off that kill onto Dirt, but he's going to get punished for it. There's the Flux and the Blade, though. And 2 ults for 1 here. Fallen should be able to clean this up, and they will do just that. The team kill for them, as they will flip this point over. The lead briefly gained there for Team Reformed. But Fallen gonna grab that right back here. DPS ults and that cage fight ready to go for Team Reformed. Dirt trying to catch as many as possible and then just let loose with that Death Blossom. No, is not going to go for it. Just connects on to the tank. Is not able to take out Pantera, however. There is the Blossom. Oh, but actually only just does damage. Doesn't find it a limb here. Social picking up that kill on Takrum, but is immediately traded out. The Mizukis are gone, and the Kitsune Rush is active here for Fallen. Oh, great Suzu from Muhiki, but are they going to be able to keep this tank alive? No. Dirt not quite making it around the corner there as 90+% here. Fallen are pushing forward. They're looking to deny a touch here, but Tiefel is on that Tracer. Recall forced out, will trigger the overtime. Muhiki is so low, it is gonna get taken down. Reyna on a great angle here to combo with Juven, and that is it. No point number 3 as Fallen set themselves up a point in this series. Play the game on the Hazard, which is nice to see. It was such a brief kind of moment of playing this tank, but it was a great downpour. Oh, yeah. Social thinking that they might be able to jump out of it, but not quite making it. All right, Stella did end up taking a couple of deaths in that second point there, but 28 assists on this Kiriko. Fantastic showing from Stella, and I love the swap from Pantera over onto that Sigma as well. Great adjustment from the lab sub point here. All right. Big start for Fallen Tail. Team Reformed, of course, did have that map pick for our map number 1, but we're going to have control of the map for map number 2 as well here. And again, best of 5 here. So first of 3. So there is still time here for Team Reformed to get back into things. Back is not up against the wall just yet. And being in control of the mode here, quite nice for them as well. We'll have to see, yeah, where they opt to take us. Control of the mode, and then the maps are from our Season 9 map pool for Face It here. And I mentioned this in the last series, that I felt like we were getting Escort quite a bit for the map number 2, but I also feel like WKU was like a little bit the culprit of that, big Circuit Royale fans here, so we'll see if we're gonna get to go over to Escort for our second map. Or maybe at some point we're gonna get to see a push map. I'm just gonna throw that out, just a reminder. We haven't seen a push map yet. They just has not materialized. Have we seen every other map type? Yeah, we have, because we saw Nimbani and we saw Suravasa. So channeling some push. Let's go to, I mean, see, look, I'm a big Runasapi fan because I really like the map, but I feel like as a Canadian, I have to give New Queen Street a shout out, even if it's my least favorite push map. It is cool to see it back in the map pool, swapping things around here for Season 8. All right, well, our teams figure out what map we're going to go to. I'll remind you all, happy Pride Month! I hope you've been having a fantastic June. We are so happy that you are joining us here for the Fallen Pride tournament. This is a charity tournament. We are raising money for the Brave Space Alliance. So this is a LGBTQ+ community in Chicago. They're focused on community resources, education, and empowerment within that Chicago area. If you're interested in making a donation to support the Brave Space, you can check out our pinned message in that Twitch chat. That will take you to the donation page for the Brave Space Alliance. So thank you all so much for being here, celebrating Pride Month with us, and raising money for a really great cause as well. Looks like we know where we're going for map number 2, and you know, just patterns, they're just everywhere, you know? Signs. We are going to Escort for map number 2. Not gonna be Circuit, though. We're gonna swap things up here. We're gonna go to what I feel is another favored map when it comes to the Escort maps. It is going to be Rialto. Oh, I'll update our little map played here so you all know that Fallen did win map number 1. So, heading over to Rialto for the second map. I am so excited to see what the bans are going to be because, look, I said this yesterday. I am a Castion fan. I like watching Cat Bastion. I'm sorry if that's a hot take, but I think it is absolutely hilarious. And I think that it requires a lot of teamwork, a lot of synergy between your Bastion and your Jetpack Cat. So I think that it can really test a team on, the strengths. So we know the map. And we have the bans coming in as well. And you can defer hero bans here. I'm just remind everybody that. So Team Reformed actually deferred their hero ban. So they gave the hero ban over to Fallen. And Fallen banned the Ana. A classic counter to the Jetpack Cat Bastion. Opening the door for it maybe. But that door has immediately been shut because Team Reformed has banned the Bastion. All right. We're ready to go here. Let's get into Rialto. Remember, not a match point just yet. This is the grand finals of the Fallen Pride charity tournament. First 3 will claim bragging rights and $300 cash prize. Looks like we are going to have Fallen on the defense first. So, all right, back over to Kiriko Mizuki. Looks like we're gonna get some Sigma as well. I think this has been a pretty classic Sigma map. Regardless of Sigma finding his way back into this meta. I feel like you could say the same thing about Circuit, but he just kept getting banned on Circuit. Alright. Juven is gonna be over on that Genji. Interesting. Alright, we're gonna get to see Seaful actually over on the Sojourn here. He was playing that Mei for a little bit, but Temp is gonna be the one picking up the Mei this time. Alright, Fallen are looking to get themselves kind of set up on that corner here. Nice chain in. That's going to punish Crumb, who is looking to get a little bit aggressive there. Wanted to find the opening pick. Reina does end up trading out, but that spawn advantage is very much going to be in the favor of Team Reformed, even though Crumb has a little bit of extra speed to get back in. And that payload is running away quite rapidly. Pantera doesn't want to give up this high ground. Gonna be on Juven to find the opening here, taking down Muhiki. Is gonna find Seaful as well. Crumb came back just in time to stall the point and then gets sent back on over to that spawn. However, sacrifice was not in vain. Nice rock onto Social. It will be a stabilization here on the defense for Fallen. And all that damage being done from these Sigmas. They're both building up to that flux very, very quickly here. Key difference here being those Kitsune rushes, and Social does have that Kikkai Sanctuary, so we'll see which team is gonna pull the trigger first on these ultimates. Been forced out. Whoa, falling quite low. There's the Kitsune rush and the flux committed from Fallen. Didn't end up following through though, as the Kikkai Sanctuary from Social is going to block up a lot of that follow-up damage you would have liked, but Kikkai Sanctuary down, and you are not going to be able to escape that Genji. Overclock from the high ground, Reina. Great angle here to just rain down damage onto Team Reformed. The Blizzard did come out, and Pantera did get caught in that. However, the angle maybe a little bit too much, as Reina able to do lots of damage. Temp on the point though. The Mei still alive. It's just Crumb and no cooldowns to be had. Hat on the ground. Payload moving forward. Juven gets the recontest briefly, but you cannot deflect the primary fire, and that will be point number 1. Capped up here by Team Reformed. Under 4 minutes here as they move into point number 2. And you can see Fallen backing up here. They want to get a full regroup. They really don't want to get staggered out here. Actually, they have this blade ready to go. Dion in also. I did not note this. Dion in on the tank roll, not dirt. Has that flux ready to go. There's the blade. Finds Temp. Oh, sorry, finds Seaful. Both DPS are gone and looking for a little more. Will do all the damage needed for Pantera to find that final blow onto Muhiki. And looks like Fallen want to play fairly close here. I mean, Pantera's gonna have to cross this bridge back at some point, and Oh, it's gonna be damage in from Seafull. I think that's actually the deflect there. Eating a little bit of damage onto himself. But it's just a nice disengage that comes through from Fallen. Crumb has a crumb of HP. Dovin is gonna be the first one to fall though. So Kekai Sanctuary forced out here from Fallen. There's the Flux in. Dion, I believe, connected onto one. Does find the final blow onto Reyna, and Pantera taken down as well. And that is the team fight win that Team Reformed needed to get across that bridge, get control of this high ground, and try and get this payload around that second corner. Kitsune Rush is available here from Stella to help walk Fallen in towards that point. That is a very good wall, but no, the Rush actually goes around, I think, the sides of it there. The Blizzard out, doesn't freeze anybody out, but the Flux does pick up 3. Good Suzu, and a better timed Kitsune Rush here from Muhiki. The Mizukis have been traded out, but Dion's not done yet. Pantera gone here. Don't really have a presence on the point if you're Fallen, and yeah, that will be... Alright, point number 2 picked up. Team Reformed continuing to move forward through Rialto here. 3.5 minutes on this third point where Temp is, I think, an easier time here on the Mei. Some nicer corners to try and work with to wall off Pantera. Overclock ready to go from Reyna. Oh, unfortunately, the TP just a second too late there. Stella not going to be able to keep Juven alive. There is the slide in aggressively with the overclock, but the Kekai Sanctuary is going to keep everybody on the side of Team Reformed nice and safe. This payload is still moving forward, creeping towards that final objective. Dion holding close here, has that Gravitic Flux ready to go, and the Blizzard nearly online again here for Temp. Great chain, better Suzu though. Dion's gonna be able to stay alive through that. Another nice Suzu coming out from the Kirikos. That means it's a free Flux here for Dion. Is going to bring Reyna into the air to be shot down by Seafull. The Blizzard on the point, and there is just no bodies here for Fallen Tail. It is the team kill to finish off Rialto as Team Reformed hitting back immediately after that Antarctic loss. 2-minute time bank here on Rialto.
Initiating match.
Okay, so that's a big ask here for Fallen, right? They need to complete this with some time. Dion 20-2. The Sigma is so scary from this tank player. And you know, the space that Dion has been able to create has really just allowed kind of Seafull to get those railgun shots. Juven has done a great job on that Genji trying to find the angles here, but it's just so much that can go through that deflect, right? You have the Mei primary fire. Dion's rocks have been absolutely on point as well. Can't deflect that rock.
I think you need to start fighting smarter.
Alright, Dion asking for uppies. Temp ignoring. Alright, high ground has been acquired here for the Sigma. Alright, same compositions from both teams as well. Aggressive positioning there from Social, trying to find maybe an early chain. As oh, okay, even more aggressive here. Juven's gonna go actually over the roof. Does a good chunk of damage, but critical HP. The hat coming through just in time. And right now, it's just about some poke damage coming through here. Trying to force out some of these cooldowns. The chain from Social goes wide and doesn't have the recall available. The supports are gone for Team Reformed, but Dion is not out of this fight just yet. He's gonna be stranded up on that high ground a little bit. Has to make the rotation out through that Mega Health Pack. Oh, and Pantera is pushed so far forward here, which is such a dangerous place to be in when you're playing against the blow up the tank composition. Yeah, is gonna get walled off. Oh, and Action Social's over on the Lucio now, so off of that Mitsuki, so you're gonna have some speed to work with here. And Team Perform making pretty good use of that speed. They're going to burst back onto this payload. Juven still lurking around Muhiki. Hungry for the Elim. Oh, the deflect, but once again, so, oh, actually gets the mega health back, dashes right through it, but it's honestly just, yeah, long stagger here as Reina, I think, pushing in to maybe try and capitalize on some of that out of position team performed there, but does end up getting punished for it. Social. Gonna be looking for some boops. There's the wall. Pantera manages to stay alive, but now there is a blizzard to be dealing with, and immediately, oh no, Juven actually I think dashed in to try and get the deflect onto Pantera, but just got frozen in place here as Team Reformed are looking very much in control here for Rialto. Flux and Overclock online as it is once again a fight at the spawn doors here for Team Reformed. I mean, this is so smart for them. That payload is so far away. They are going to be able to get another fight in if they lose this at the spawn door. And when you have the Mei, I mean, it's just fantastic to just try and get these walls off. Juven, gonna agree with that, I suppose. Moves over onto the Mei themselves. Dueling Kitsune rushes, but Seaful, he's gonna pop that overclock as well. Reina forced to use it, and he is going to find the better of Seaful in this engagement. Pushing forward here, everybody on Team Reform taking a lot of poke damage here, and forced out so many cooldowns. Pantera, he's gonna fall, however. No tank here for Fallen to try and take space. And with Muhiki still alive, Dion still alive as well. It's a great beat coming through. Social keeping Dion alive. There is the Kikai Sanctuary in response, so Team Reform can't push too aggressive with that beat, and Reina finding Muhiki out on an angle once again. No Kiriko here. That's so much of the healing gone, especially where Social is over on that Lucio now. Gravitic Flux ready to go. Does connect onto Pantera, and Juven, who swapped over onto the Mei just moments ago, commits the Blizzard in, doesn't find the Limb, however. Does force a disengage from Team Reformed, and now they're going to be fighting for this checkpoint. Seaful coming back on the Tracer as well. 10 seconds. Fallen need to cap this point up if they want to stay in the series, and it's a great move on to Juven. That Mei is going to be so much stall potential gone here for Fallen. Stella desperately trying to build up to this Kitsune rush, but there's a Blizzard on the point. Seaful taken down from as well. Stella does manage to get this Kitsune rush out. Overtime is going to fall so quickly as soon as there is not a body on the point, and just no touches available, and that is Team Reformed tying this series up. We are at least guaranteed a map number 4 now.
Play of the game.
Temp with the play of the game. Awesome showing from the Mei. Oh, the right clicks. Okay, not the, nope, got him in the end. And Dion did not die on that defense. Yeah, kudos to Muhiki and Social though. I mean, so many heals put into that tank. Absolutely incredible. But yeah, I mean, this has got to be a Sigma ban coming through at some point now, all right, for Fallen Tail. I feel like you gotta hit back with it because Dion kind of looked unstoppable there. All right, so this means Fallen are going to get to pick the map that we go to here, and they're going to have option of the modes that have not already been played. So we're not going to go back to a control. We're not going to go back to an escort. So we have hybrid, flashpoint, and push on the table. Of course, those are all going to be from the Face It Season 9 map pool as well. So we got to see Nimbani yesterday, which is a map that we haven't, I personally, I guess, haven't seen in quite a while. So potentially we could get to move over onto that. I do think as well that Fallen, if they don't want to go for the Sigma ban, maybe they want to take us over to a map where it's going to be a little bit harder to play the Sigma. And then hold on to the Sigma ban, maybe for later. Because being in control of the mode and the map that we go to is it's a lot of power, and you can really kind of sway the way that the teams are going to end up playing. So they do know where we're gonna go, and we are gonna be getting hybrid map. Not Nimbani though. I fear no more Nimbani, but it's okay. We're going from, I feel like, what might be a pretty disliked map in Nimbani to a beloved map of King's Row. Which, hey, it is, I would argue, it is a little tricky to play the Sigma here. I feel like rush compositions do very well on King's Row. And you can really just run down a Sigma. I think especially if Pantera wants to move over onto the Ramatra, we did see them play that. Fallen, of course, in control of the hero ban as well. And they have already decided what they're going to ban out, and I mean, having two Mei players on one team is just a little bit too strong, so Seaful and Temp are both not going to be able to play the Mei here. There's going to be a DPS ban coming through from Fallen, so that means Team Reformed will have to consider a tank or a support ban here for King's Row. And while they consider their options, like to wish everybody a happy Pride Month. Thank you so much for being here for the Fallen Pride tournament. Big shout out also to all of the players and the teams that signed up. We had 8 teams that signed up for this, and it has been so much fun to get to cover a bunch of matches over yesterday and today. So we got to do 3 matches yesterday. If you missed them and you maybe want to go check them out, the VOD is available on the Fallen Esports Twitch. And then we're doing the 3 matches today. This is the grand finals here. So the winner of this match will take home $300. And the second place team will take home $150. So both of these teams have done very well to get here to the grand finals out of those 8 teams that signed up. Special shout out as well to WKU Gray, our 3rd place team that has taken home $50. And, of course, like I mentioned, this is a charity tournament. So we're here supporting the Brave Space Alliance. So you can check out the link in our pinned message in Twitch to learn a little bit more about the Brave Space Alliance, which is a charity organization based in Chicago. And you can make a donation to support the Brave Space and all of the amazing work that they do for the LGBTQ plus community in Chicago. Another special shout out to XYBA Productions. They are helping us run this tournament and this broadcast as well. So they have covered all of kind of the sign up work and the bracket creation for these teams, and then they're also my observers today, so big shout out to them. They are doing all of the awesome OBSing in game, and they have the in-game overlays as well. Looks like we are ready to head into King's Row, because after that Mei ban, it's an Ana ban that came through, which I think is very interesting. We will have to see what that's going to amount to. It's both these teams getting themselves ready. Oh, Mizuki. Rain can read. I'm like looking at the little fine print in the lobby. Mizuki ban here, so maybe I was just predicting that we'd get to see an Ana. Maybe that's what it was. I'm just encouraging some Ana gameplay. But no, I suspect that with a Mizuki out, we will end up on Lucio Kiriko. I feel like that is probably the most likely situation. So let's head into things. We are tied up in this series. It is a best of 5, first to 3. So the winner of this map will put themselves at a match point, trying to get to the first 3 wins here to claim the victory in our Fallen Pride tournament. So we're gonna have a a boss come through here, you get to experience some of the match chat here. I'm gonna throw it back over to me while they figure things out. Just a little discussion about the rules and the rule book. I think regarding which team starts on which side here. So we'll get that sorted out before we head in, just to make sure that everything is on the right sides here. But while we do that, let me throw it over to the bracket just in case anybody wasn't tuned in for some of the matches yesterday and then the matches today about how we got to this grand finals, because honestly, I am pretty impressed with the two teams that we have on the screen here. Because as you can see, the team Reformed, of course, because they came from that upper bracket, running all the way through that upper bracket. But this is a rematch. This is a rematch from Winners Round 1, because it was Team Reformed that sent Fallen Tail down into that lower bracket, and then Fallen Tail fighting through 4 matches to get to that grand finals, to get the rematch against Team Reformed here. So there's been a little bit of drama, I think, added here to get to see this Fallen team fight through that entire lower bracket to come back for this little bit of revenge. I'm realizing that this bracket isn't updated because I didn't refresh it. So let's see if I can do that and get the score in for that lower round 4. Oh no, it is updated. The scores weren't updated. Well, trust me when I tell you that Fallen Tail did win the match against WKU Gray in that lower round 4. And they are now in the grand finals. You can trust me on that one. We are still on a pause here, but we're just getting the R's from both teams, making sure everything is okay as we head into this map. Again, it's not the last map in the series. It won't be the last map in the series, but pretty important, I'd have to say. It's a pretty important one because the team that wins this is going to set themselves at a match point. And I don't know about you guys, but I am cheering for whichever team is losing so that we can get to that map number 5. We are already into things here. As it is going to be the Jetpack at Bastion from Team Reformed. Oh, I love to see it. I always love to see it. The question of why is the Ana banned, but it's Social on the Ana. Alright. Social getting a little bit of a caster curse there. Is going to be sent back to the spawn. Juven is going to be taken down as well. Fallen trying to maintain this point. Oh no, Crumb coming in for I maybe to try and find a final blow on Dion, and is immediately gonna eat that rock. I mean, look, I mentioned it. This Sigma is so impressive from Dion. You gotta be so careful. If this Sigma has a rock, it's going to hit somebody. Hanzo logs from Temp also hitting somebody. Stella sent back to the spawn. Pantera has moved over onto the Doomfist. Oh, need a cap there. Yep, he's gonna cap it up. Okay. Is Pantera gonna stick on this Doomfist? I thought that it was, okay, yeah, it was maybe just to try and get a retouch. He's gonna swap over to the Ramatra. And see, I like the idea here from Fallen. You know, this is kind of what I was thinking, right? You go to the King's Row, you force the rush composition so you can just run down this Sigma, but it's not working that way very well. As Team Reformed had more than 5 minutes in this time bank capping up first point. And unfortunately for Fallen Tail, he got long spawn on 2 of their members, so they weren't able to push forward and play for that first choke point. Although I say that, but they actually have pushed forward and are playing for that choke point. That Lucio speed really, really benefiting Fallen Tail. And they're going to be able to take down Dion here, so now they are going to get a bit of a stabilization here. Seaful is back over onto this Bastion, but Muhiki is back in the spawn. The Catnap is ready to go, but the question becomes, how are you going to make use of it? Especially with Reyna on this Sojourn. You know, Sojourn might not be your classic sense of a hit scan, but she will hit her shots. And the cat could be the target. Kitsune rush out from Stella here. Temp is on quite the hard angle. Dragons across the point. There's the Catnap. Ooh, doesn't actually connect though. There's the rock. Oh, it's gonna be a double flux here, and the nano onto Dion. So much damage coming through. Nice sleep dart as well. There's the team kill here, and that is one way to break through a choke point. Team Reformed gonna move this payload forward. They did commit everything into that, but they're taking a lot of space here. Temp hoping to maybe find an early pick as well. Not quite going to find it, however. Fallen have the ults to work with. It's just a matter of finding their way in. That overclock needs a little bit of space to work with if you really want to get the maximum value from it. And oh, the Bastion form is just melting down. Pantera, that Nemesis form barely keeping the tank alive. And there's that overclock. Everybody's focused in on the Ramattra, but you gotta watch the Sojourn on the angle. That's a good re-engagement here for Fallen, but they lose Crumb. Oh, the beat is gone. The Tracer is gone. Pantera has pushed very far forward, looking to get some of these late kills. Manages to do just that. And now it is the reinforcements here from Stella. Gonna find that Elim onto Temp, and Fallen managing to stabilize once again here on the streets phase of things. And they hold on to this Annihilation. Crumb has the beat ready to go as well. Some fight-winning ultimates as we head into this next one. Artillery strike ready to go for Seafull. Most often gonna see that. Just to keep the Bastion alive, you get that overhealth. Does have that perk up and ready. Crumb is so far in. And is going to get punished for it. Yeah, almost took Social down. It was close. Oh, great sleep dart again. Social, though, getting cleaned up. Juven has a great angle to find that Ana out. And the sleep dart did cancel out the Annihilation, but Pantera didn't fall for it. Still a lot of space being held here. Oh, there's the dragons coming through. Not sure where that ended up there. Oh, there it is. Takes down Stella. I don't think Stella knew where it was coming from either. The artillery strike came in, gave some overhealth, but Seafull not able to live through that. And yeah, seems we are going to get the swap here for Team Reformed. Does Muhiki over to that Kiriko, Seafull over on the Tracer here. This will be very nice to try and help, oh no, oh, okay, over onto the Reaper instead. Gonna go more for that frontline presence. So Juven is still going to be more or less uncontested on this Tracer. Has the pulse bomb. What a stick! Connects onto Social. And all of the extra damage coming through from the rest of Fallen is... That is going to be a clean fight win just off of that pulse bomb. 60 seconds and another late kill here as Mukiki and Seafull will get that wave spawn with Dion. Both support ults for Fallen. That beat from Crumb gonna be very useful against potential nano gravitic flux again. There's the rush in, and that's the beat in response to that flux. Both the supports are gone for Team Reformed. Nano not able to get out there, or maybe Social just hanging on to it for the next fight here. Very wise. Seafull goes for the reset. And now, getting down to the wire here, Muhiki's gonna have to swap over on to that cat. Get Social into a nice little position here. The nano over onto the Bastion. The form out as well. Needs to be a touch, however, and the boop goes over onto the auto. Will there be a touch? No, there won't. What a great boop from Crumb. Does end up paying for it, but 100% worth it. You know what? I thought that the cat might have been the swap to try and get the touch, but I mean, it was to actually get Social onto the high ground, but then Seafull moved back over onto the Bastion. Oh, great hold here from Fallen after a pretty dominant first point, honestly, from Team Reformed. Pantera and Reyna staying alive there. Crumb practicing the rollouts. No problem. No, fantastic job here from Fallen, though. They really did lock in on the streets phase there. And Team Reformed, I mean, look, I said it. I love to see the Jetpack Cat Bastion. I really do. I think it's really hard on King's Row. It's a tough map. There's not a whole lot of kind of like open angles and like architecture to really hide around. But doesn't seem like Team Reformed are gonna go for it a second time here on the defense. a Wuyong, potentially. Got to see that in a little while. I do believe we got to see some Wuyong gameplay yesterday, but yeah, this will be interesting. And then Dion is going to go over onto the D.Va, so yeah, not going to be on the Sigma here. I like it. A little bit of high ground control here, especially on the first point defense.
5, 4,
And Pantera
2, 1.
showing us the Orisa.
Defend objective.
Interesting. Crumb is on the cat as well, and there's no Bastion to be seen with this. This is gonna be the Cat Kiriko backline paired with that Genji and the Sojourn here. So we'll see what Fallen can get done with this. Temp on that Symmetra as well. As okay, Pantera has already taken the back line, but yeah, the Mega Health Pack is not going to be enough to keep that Sojourn alive, and that Defense Matrix is going to eat up all that primary fire from the Jetpack Cat. Late kill, but Stella will get the wave spawn with Crumb here, so both supports will get back into things quickly, but they are not going to be quick enough to help Jubin, who's way in the back line of Team Reformed. And it has to be the disengage if you're Fallen. You have to wait for that Genji to come back, and Team Reformed are very much aware of that. They have the Sim TP, though, to get a little bit aggressive here. Try and find another stagger kill. They won't find it this time. All right. Walking through the choke point here. Immediately Fallen is going to end up getting split, and that split is going to be punished here. Crumb and Reyna are gone. Pantera tried to walk in through the hotel, but Jubin looking to put some pressure onto the high ground, and great follow-up. The clean up coming from the D.Va here. Great mobility. Oh, is going to even get the kill onto Jubin. Yeah, the deflect is down, and the kunai's in the head. All right, swap here. Over onto the Winston. Gonna help take some of this high ground, hopefully. Zap down some of those Sim turrets as well. But at D.Va, if you get right up in the face of that Winston, you can do big chunks of damage here. So Pantera's gonna have to path carefully here. Take down some of these squishies instead. Good high ground control from Reyna now, trying to wrap the way around the point here. And as the rotation is happening, Stella, it's the railgun shot to the head, and Pantera trying to capitalize on some of those low targets from Team Reformed, but is going to end up getting punished. And it is another fight win here for Team Reformed. And they have 5 ultimates to work with. A minute and a half on the clock for Fallen to cap up this first point and get that payload moving. Now, Fallen do have ults coming online here. Pantera, of course, making that swap. It's going to be a little while before that Primal Rage is online. They have the Kitsune Rush ready to go to try and find their way onto the point, but the risk, of course, that Muhiki is just going to hold that Kitsune Rush for a second. Nice opening pick from Team Reformed, and they're using the overclock. Tidal Blast going to be committed onto Seaful as well, and yeah, it is all Team Reformed in the kill feed. A team kill. And less than a minute now for Fallen. The good news is 3 ultimates were committed there from Team Reformed, so Photon Barrier and the bomb from Dion are going to have to be the 2 ultimates for Team Reformed to hold on to this first point, to claim map number 3, and to set themselves at a series point. Fallen have everything to work with except for that beat, but Reyna is down. The Kitsune Rush out just a little bit late there. You're not able to put the heals onto that Sojourn. The blade is out. Seaful is down. The Sojourn have been traded out. That Photon Barrier, though, splitting Fallen in half there, and now overtime about to start ticking here. The Primal Rage has been gained for Pantera. Going to need a touch. They are going to get that, but Crumb immediately is going to pay for it. Temp ends up falling, so the Symmetra's out of the fight, and now Reyna back in, has this overclock. The overtime is falling. Deep a bomb right in the face of the Sojourn. He's going to make a nice little adjustment around, but Miyuki is going to punish that, as there are no DPS here for Fallen, and it is not looking like a point cap for them. Team Reformed standing tall on King's Row. The map selection of Fallen Tail, and that means that Team Reformed have set themselves at a series point here in our Fallen Pride Grand Finals. All right, now might be the time. It might be time for the Sigma ban. I like the play, right? I like going for the rush comp, the rush map, playing the rush comp. But it's just great adjustments being made here from the side of Team Reformed, and a rough one for the side of Fallen Tail as again Dion 33-4. This tank is just such a strong presence for Team Reformed. Temp also with some high limbs there. Excellent showing across the board there for Team Reformed. Great match point now. Fallen gonna have to string together a couple of maps if they want to take the win on this Fallen Pride tournament. They have 2 options left of map types to select for our 4th and potentially final map. It's going to be a push map or flashpoint map. We will see. And again, these are all maps from the map pool is the Faceit Season 9. So the options here, since I suppose I could just let you know. I don't have a nice cute graphic for it, but there's only 4 maps to select from since the Flashpoint and Push are so small here. So Flashpoint, we have New Junk City and Suravasa. Push, we have Runasapi and New Queen Street. So that is it. And for the first time on our broadcasted matches, we're going to be going to a push map. We haven't seen one up until now from any of the matches that have been streamed, but here it is, map number 4 of the grand finals. We are going to be heading over to Runasapi, courtesy of Fallen Tail, as they look to tie this series up and force that flashpoint as our tiebreaker. But I gotta get through Runasapi first here. Now they are gonna have the option of the hero ban as well. Worth mentioning, I think that teams can defer the hero ban if they want to have the other team ban first. It is an option. And we have seen some teams do it. We've seen it here in this series already. Now, Runasapi could be a Sigma map. I mean, I feel like Dion right now, and not just, I mean, Dion has been playing absolutely incredibly, but I also feel like Sigma just seems to be in a place right now that Sigma is getting played even on maps that are like not typically Sigma maps. I feel like Runasapi could be a Sigma map here. Although Dion has just proved to us that deadly on other tanks as well. That Diva on King's Row, pretty scary here. So Fallen are going to have to think carefully about if they want to go for a ban onto the tank, or if they're worried about that Cat Bastion, because Team Reform did show us that on King's Row, and they could absolutely have it here on Runasapi. Ooh, okay, roster adjustment as well. Interesting. So, for the side of Team Reformed, we are going to have a little swap here of the tank and the DPS. So, we are going to have Seaful move over on to the tank position, and then Dion is going to move over on to a DPS here. So, I mean, I'm gonna just throw this over to the roster pool just as we get the hero bans in here, but this is I think this is maybe a little more expected here. I mean, I've been kind of mentioning it, Seaful has been on the DPS this whole time. Traditionally a tank player, but it has looked very, very good on the DPS as well. But he's gonna be moving back on over to that tank role here, so interesting to see. They're looking to close this out right here, right now. We have the hero bans in. Yeah, Fallen are banning the jetpack hat. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I do think that jetpack hat Bastion definitely could have been an option here on Runasapi. All right. In response, it's a Cassidy ban coming through for Team Reformed. And we are ready to head into Runasapi again. We are here in the grand finals of the Fallen Pride and we have a pause and a DC. I love it. Seafull gets put onto the tank and immediately is kicked out of the game. Not kicked out. I'm sure it's just a DC. All right. Yeah, this is the grand finals. I'm trying to like hype it up and I'm laughing at pauses. Grand finals of the Fallen Pride charity tournament here. Team Reformed at a match point here, looking to take home the first place title and $300. Fallen right now trying to keep themselves alive in this series. Fallen Tail need to win here on Runasapi, their map selection, and then they need to win on a flashpoint, which I think it's important to mention as well. Of course, if Fallen are able to win here on Runasapi, they're going to be going into the map pick of Team Reformed. Now, of course, like I mentioned, also, there's only 2 flashpoint maps that we could pick from, so it would either be New Junk City or Saravasa. Because there's so few flashpoint maps, usually most teams are pretty well versed in both of them, so that is at least something to keep in mind for Fallen as they select kind of the push versus the flashpoint map here for map number 4. As we're still on a bit of a pause here. There seems to be a bit of a bug happening with Seafull, so we're just I think there was a restart that was happening, and we'll get back into the map soon here. But while I let them sort that out, reminder, this is a charity tournament, so although there is money on the line for these players as incentive for competing and putting on a good show, we're also raising money for the Brave Space Alliance. So that is a Pride organization based in Chicago. So they look to provide resources to the LGBTQ plus community in the form of education and empowerment, as well as physical resources as well in the Chicago area. As I'm just like, I have an eye on the lobby since we got in, and there's a pause, and now we're back out again. So thank you all so much for bearing with me while we get everything sorted. Hey, this is a grand finals match, so we want to make sure that when we head into the map, everything is ready. All the players are good to go, and there aren't going to be any issues or any resets, because I would so much rather sit here and yap to you guys and waffle than have to restart a map because something has gone wrong. So we'll get that all sorted out. So grand finals, we cannot have any kinks happening once we're in the map. So we'll check out the bracket while it's going through another reset, just in case. I know some of you have been watching from the beginning here, but a reminder as well, and a big shout out to all of the other teams that participated. We got to see a lot of them on the broadcast, unfortunately, because there's so many matches, we didn't get to cover all of the stream, or all of the games on stream. So I'm gonna give a special shout out to Arctic Halo, Escape the Hamster, and Team Kitchen, because we unfortunately didn't get to see them on the broadcast, but big shout out to them for competing in this tournament. We're so grateful that there were so many teams that were interested, and we filled the 8 slots fairly quickly. And then of course, if you are interested in watching any of the matches from yesterday, we do have the VOD up on the Twitch. So yesterday, we watched Gan Gan Galaxy versus Rosé. Then we watched WKU Gray versus Gan Gan Galaxy. Then we followed Gan Gan Galaxy down into the lower bracket to play against Fallen Tail. So the VOD of that available on the Fallen Esports Twitch. So definitely go check that out if you missed any of those matches. Maybe you want to see, as you can see from this bracket, some of those were map 3s. Our first 2 matches both went the distance. So high hopes here for our grand finals match, because the last time that these 2 teams met, all the way back in round 1, it did go to that tiebreaker map. As, alright, looks like everything is good. We are going into Runasapi. Reminder, no Jetpack Cat, no Cassidy, so no Castion to be seen here. And okay, Seafull in, Wrecking Ball out, and that's probably gonna be why the Cassidy ban came through.
Objective
Now, the Mizuki is still available, though, and that CC is so strong, and Crumb has been pretty good to hit, though, so Seaful is definitely not going to be able to just roll around for free here. Is going to be scouting for free, though. Nice little angle on the rooftops. Slam in, the chain goes wide. Trying to connect onto that chain before the slam came through. Nice little disengage there from Fallen Tail. Not going to allow too much damage to come through from the spin to win there of Seaful. Point has opened, and Dion is getting walked down on that Sojourn. Juven going to start things off, as Temp is over on the Tracer as well, so maybe on to Temp and to kind of keep Juven in check on some of these angles. Social is over on the Iari as well, so a lot of damage potential here from Team Reformed. They have the opportunity to follow up on these slams. Nice chain does connect onto Seaful, but you're not able to find that elimination on to the Wrecking Ball. You are able to push this barrier forward a little bit, though, and, you know, Team Reformed did get a small amount of progress, but Fallen gonna get a small amount of progress of their own as Stella and Juven end up falling here. The DPS for Team Reformed coming in clutch. Social showing that they could be a DPS themselves on that Iari. And team kill here for Reformed. They're gonna walk up and take so much space here. Reformed will be able to gain the lead. And Pantera has moved over on to this D.Va, so that defense matrix is definitely going to help with that CC that comes through from Seaful. Of course, Dion, Social, honestly, everybody on Team Reformed is going to be able to follow up on damage onto that CC. So pressure's on Pantera to make sure that that damage gets eaten up. Pulse Bomb ready to go for Temp. Crumb could very well be the target of this, as Social is on a very hard angle right now, and I mean, he's gonna get away with it. Crumb does get rolled over, so Social alive for now, but still in a very precarious situation. I mean, Seaful can just roll out of there, but Social cannot do the same, and yeah, he's gonna get punished there. So another fight win here for Fallen. Is this has been a lot of back and forth between these teams. Each barrier just pushing feet before moving back. Stella gonna be in charge of helping move this bot forward. Pulse Bomb ready to go for both of these Tracers. There is gonna be a contest coming through before Fallen are able to take the lead. There's Captive Sun out. Did connect onto one. Currently hiding behind the barrier. Crumb still alive. Oh, just in time. It gets triggered, but I think it was actually the Suzuki that comes through from Stella there to keep the Mizuki alive. I'm gonna find actually a double kill. Both the supports gone at the hands of the Mizuki for Fallen. There's the lead picked up by Fallen, and they're moving their way towards this first objective, or this objective as well. Trying to get the forward spawns here. Seaful coming in for a recontest. Has the mines to work with. Oh, doesn't stop that forward spawn from being picked up though. So checkpoint gained here. There are mines all over the point, and overclock on the coast here. Reyna. It just facing down a Wrecking Ball right now. It almost gets moved off the edge. I think that Reyna actually, she might have just been saved by the railing there. No, nicely timed slide as well. Dion has been traded out here, but Pantera loses the mech and loses their life. So there's no tank here. It should be a fight win for Reformed. As Seaful's gonna roll back over, trying to get a late kill here. Stella is at 1 HP, and it's a good late kill here. Seaful going to stop that Kiriko from getting the forward spawn here. We'll be able to TP fairly quickly, of course, but this Wrecking Ball is just wreaking havoc in the backline, taking so much attention from Fallen. All the while, that bot moving forward here. Team Reformed looking to pick up the checkpoint and pick up the lead here. Will there be a contest coming in? Yes, just in time, Pantera will find their way onto the point. They have the bomb for the remake, but they're gonna have to use it while this overclock is happening. Pantera's not gonna be able to get back in that mech either. Social also over onto the brig, off of that Iari, has the rally ready to go. And this should be the lead gained here for Team Reformed. Crumb falls, and the lead picked up. It's Reformed. Keep moving forward here. Seaful has those mines once again. Stella does have the Kitsune Rush advantage here, but It's gonna actually force out the rally here. Mine's coming out as well. All of this space just being gained here. Team Reform continuing to push that barrier forward. Pantera is over on that hazard now. Looking to go for a collapse onto the targets that Reyna's hitting with that railgun, and then have Juven go for that follow-up. There's the Kitsune Rush. Crumb making good use of it. Is going to take down Dion. Kitsune Rush from Muhiki in response, and a Blizzard as well. And Pantera, yeah, absolutely going to be the target of that Blizzard. The Solo Blizzard onto the hazard, and it's paying dividends here. Ooh, Gay Social gets a little bit too far forward there, but the trades are still coming through, and he's eventually going to favor Fallen here with that closer spawn. However, forward spawns have been gained, or in control of Team Reform. That Wrecking Ball just got body blocked by a Tracer. Yeah, that was very well played there from Juven. Nice wall as well. Late kill onto Dion, perhaps. Oh, what a Susu from Muhiki. Excellent timing to keep that Sojourn alive. And it's going to be a contest coming through from Seafull on this ball. And that allows everybody from Reform to get this forward spawn. Oh, the overclock is immediately shut down by that railgun headshot of Dion. Fallen needed that to go big here to try and take away this control of the bot. Now Muhiki falls, but the trades are still in favor of Reformed here. They still have the mines, but Seafull has no HP, does fall here. So finally, Fallen seeming to get control of the fight, but not in control of the bot. Temp is over on the Mei. Stealing that bot away. Has this ice block as well. Again, forward spawns are still in control of Reformed here. I think it's not often you see the Mei run away with the bot. Alright, nice kills coming through here for Fallen. They really don't want to have to use these ultimates in this fight. Juven is absolutely locked in on this Tracer right now. Has the Pulse Bomb. Muhiki gonna get that forward spawn, so once again, Reformed are gonna have the opportunity to take a fight right at the middle as 5. Down 4 in. Another fantastic Suzu here from Muhiki. There's a Pulse Bomb in. Not going to connect. So low. Dion is going to fall. Immediately, Juven is traded out, though. And Reyna gone as well. So no DPS for Fallen to try and clutch this up with. But the damage there in the form of Crumb and Pantera. The Kitsune Rush is ready to go for Stella here, but Team Reformed have just been doing such a good job controlling this bot. Every time it gets back towards the middle of the point here, Seafull just comes in, goes for the recontest, make sure everybody gets the forward spawns. Forward spawns not in control. Fallen finally winning a fight, but they lose Juven. They're going to have to fit the Kitsune Rush in. They need a quick trade, and they find that in the form of Social. The Kikai Sanctuary gone. This overclock from Dion trying to discourage Fallen from using that Kitsune Rush, but still a lot of space taken. There's the Kitsune Rush in response from Muhiki. And again, we're going to see the Kikai Sanctuary, and the Mei just walks in, drops that Blizzard. Can't have that snowball touch the walls. It would have eaten it up, but good play there from Temp to avoid that. And chain kill from Social here, as it was a strong start for Fallen, but they just have not been able to regroup and get their forward spawns once again. Pantera does have another downpour to work with, but Social with that Kikai Sanctuary. And the mines from Seafull here, so big ultimates available for Reformed. 1 minute on the clock. 1 minute for Team Reformed to maintain this lead and take the win. Great Kikai Sanctuary, gonna deny that downpour. And now Team Reformed looking to walk in. Good chain as Pantera has just been the focus of so many of these cooldowns. The Pulse Bomb goes on to Seafull. Oh, the Suzu not quite there to keep the tank alive. The mines did come out, but Fallen have just wandered past them. They are not interested in taking a fight in that area. Muhiki with the headshot, and Reyna is barely going to survive that skirmish with Dion. However, Team Reformed still in control of this point. 10 seconds. There's going to have to be a touch on the bot from Fallen. if they want to take us to a map number 5. They managed to trigger the overtime here, but they have no bodies to make that overtime stick. Juven and Crumb, the last ones alive here. Juven will be able to get another touch on this bot, but it is going to be overtime spawns here for Fallen Tail. It's going to be so hard for them to get back into the fight. Seaful is just absolutely distracting Crumb, and there's the overclock from Reyna trying to find something, but is only finding the overclock of Dion, who is going to close out this map. And that will be Team Reformed taking the victory here on Runesapi, and they will be your Fallen Pride champions here, taking home the bragging rights and taking home $300.
This ends now.
Excellent stuff from both of these teams. Again, this was a grudge match here. Team Reformed sent Fallen into that lower bracket, round number 1 here. The secret weapon, Seaful over onto that wrecking ball, the cast band coming through. Team Reformed knew exactly what they needed to do to close this series out, and they executed it. I don't want to say flawlessly. There's definitely a lot of back and forth there, but very much felt like Team Reformed was in control for a lot of that series, or a lot of that map. So fantastic showing from both of these teams. Congratulations to Fallen Tail as well. They do come second place out of 8 teams, and they are going to take home $150. So not walking away empty-handed here. This has been so much fun to get to cover. This has been the 2-day tournament, so we got to cover 3 of the matches yesterday, 3 matches today. If you want to check out any of this charity event, you can watch the VODs on the Twitch. They will be saved there for you. And again, happy Pride Month to everyone. There's still time to make a donation to the Brave Space Alliance if you're interested in supporting this LGBTQ plus community based in Chicago. That is who Fallen Esports is raising money for, this Pride event. So congratulations to all of the teams. Thank you to all of them for coming out, showing up, putting on some really fun matches. Big shout out as well to XYBA, who has been our production partners for this. So all of the observing in-game was handled by XYBA. They also had the in-game overlays, and they set up all of the brackets for us as well. So big thanks to them, and thank you all for coming out and watching and supporting. Had so much fun. Stay tuned to the Fallen Esports Twitch account or Twitter account, and to the Discord server as well, to find out about other cool events that Fallen Esports is going to be putting on. So that will be it for me here today, but thank you again, and I hope to see you at the next Fallen Esports event.